have to paint an entire Eldar army in 3 days. We're teaming up with the army painter to use their brand new speed paint to showcase 3,000 points of Craft World Eldar. This is going to be one of the hardest paint challenges I've ever attempted. There's going to be blood, sweat, and tears, but at the end of it, hopefully there's going to be an Eldar army. Join us live on our YouTube channel from Friday to Sunday as I complete this monumental task.
Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the final stream of this paint stream. We're here, we're ready, we're kicking butt, taking names. I'm doing everything I can to get this Eldar army done by the end of the day. There's a lot left, but we have not given up yet. For in fact, we will not be giving up because I think I can do it. Lots getting done. Right now I'm really trying to finish up the infantry. Tanks are almost completely done. Now it's just keep cranking on the infantry and we're gonna see when we get there. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. Hope everyone is having a lovely Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's a Sunday. Yeah, they're playing the top 8 of Cherokee right now, so it is definitely a Sunday. Currently dry brushing some white over the Holy White speed paint. I was told that the Holy White is one that you really want to do a dry brush over to get the maximum effect. And so far, I've got to agree, it looks pretty good when you put that dry brush in. How's everyone doing, chat? Chat, you hanging out with me? Is anyone perhaps watching the Cherokee finals themselves? Tune in. Let me know what you all are doing. Hey, Frosty Forge, have I mapped out how many points I've done? Honestly, I have not. I haven't even. I should do that. Maybe the next time I'm like sitting around like looking down like, what am I like waiting on to dry here? I should like go ahead and do some math and see how many points I'm thinking are going to be done. So as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, we're not going to be basing the Eldar army today. So I'm going to try to get everything painted, but the basing is going to have to wait. Yeah, we ordered some basing material for the project, and it has not arrived yet. It's supposed to get here like in the middle of last week, and it just, unfortunately, it seems to be caught up in all the shipping delays. So we're going to have to wait a little bit on that one. We're going to have to wait and see when that arrives. But as soon as it does, I will immediately crack down, base the whole army at once, and we'll get things done. Heck yeah. Alright, so how's everyone doing? Frosty Forge, are you painting again? Oh, Michael Taylor, it's Monday in New Zealand. That is a compelling point. It really is Monday in New Zealand. I always messes with me. New Zealand's always so far ahead. So far ahead of the meta. Madness, I say. Nice. Put that down. What are these texts? Have a... Okay. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was wondering about the Cherokee Open, because they're in the middle of the second round of the top 8. And we already know that Jack Harpster has won his game, so Art of War will be represented in the finals. Heck yeah. Wouldn't be a frontline event if Art of War wasn't in the finals, right? So really, really happy for Jack. He's doing a great job. He is 8-0 with his Far Side Allied Worlds. Really, really good showing, honestly. And then, yeah, we've got one other game with Quentin Johnson, who is a good friend and a War Room member, who is currently playing for his shot in the finals. I think he's playing against a gentleman named Sean. We'll see how that game's going. I've heard Quentin has a lead, but unfortunately, that one is not on stream. Yeah. Looks like it might be Jack versus Quentin. You know what? I would love to see that. Quentin and Jack are both very good friends of mine. I hate Tau, so I'm disappointed in the Tau v Tau finals. But we're already there because Jack is himself in a Tau mirror match. So if you're telling me that it's Tau versus Tau no matter what, I'm rooting for my friends. And our War Room coaches and members. Always a consistent there. Frosty Forge is painting an Autarch cloak. I mean, are you painting a camo cloak? Because I know that takes forever. Those darn camo cloaks. Alright, dry brush done on those warp spiders. Let's do it on the helmets of these rangers. Then I'm going to have to do the guardians. Ooh, lots to do. I think I'm definitely not finishing this army on stream. I'm going to go ahead and concede that point right away. But even though the paint stream is going to end at some point today, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop painting. Goal is by the end of the day. And you know what? That's like till like midnight. I've got like 10 more hours, which is a lot. A whole bucket load of painting. We'll see how long of that I'm on stream. We'll see how long I can keep it going. We'll see. I'm definitely going to be posting some pictures on social media at the end. And we're going to see exactly what is done. Yeah, white dry brush coming out pretty nice. Army paint or white. Army paint, just like, not even like speed paint. You know, speed paint, good. But right now we're just talking about their normal paints. Their white paint makes me extremely happy. I love that thing. When Anthony pushed 9 Custodians bikes in the middle, it had to make Jack happy to be on the other side of that test. Matt O, I wonder if Anthony... I'm sure Jack told him a story, because I think they get along well, so I'm sure they were talking stories at the end of it. I wonder if Anthony knew about what happened in that test game. Like, I don't know. It would be just kind of funny if he didn't know and then the exact scenario just happened again. Yeah, I'm sure Jack was like feeling some kind of way. Like, all right, if this is happening, I can't lose. Is what I'm guess was going through his head. Not like he's going to win. Like he would never live it down if he switched to Tau because he pushed bikes into them and lost, and then he lost to Tau pushing bike, getting bikes pushed into them. That would just be too much for Jack. All right, nice white helmets and white faceplates as well. That's where we're going. Do. Throwing down some airbrush work on stealth suits before starting work. Heck yeah, Michael Taylor, good stuff. Thanks for the support, Ryan Kempe. I think I do. I think we're going to get... I haven't even done the points, so I'm hoping it's 3,000. But it's definitely a lot. Like, this has to be more than 2K. So this is a 2K list. I would play it. And I feel like I would literally never lose, because it's a lot. Okay, so that can go there. Just dry brushing all the helmety parts. Which unfortunately there are quite a lot of. Dude, these Eldar will be making some appearances in the Streamhouse RTT. You have to wonder if Quentin versus Jack would be a preview of the finals at the Streamhouse RTT, since they're both going to be in attendance, but on opposite sides of the brackets. Yeah, Jack smoked the custard player. I heard that, as a matter of fact. I actually had it on while I was eating my lunch and taking care of the pups, because we have some Streamhouse doggies around. I had it on the TV, and I saw the handshake, and it looks like it happened pretty fast. Man, Jack is putting in work with his Tau. Honestly, I'm really happy for him. Glad that he made the switch and is doing very well. And you know, at this point, win or lose, he's got top 2 in the bag. So great run from Jack, no matter what. But hopefully, I'm rooting for him to take it all. Really am. I think Jack needs that W. Alrighty. Frostboard is freehanding copper trim and ruins. It's much worse than the camo hooks. Yeah, I have not painted any of like the ruins or like the intricate details yet. That is not happening this weekend under any circumstances. This is a speed paint weekend. This is getting the army to tabletop standard. I consider painting that to be the next level, and I would like to get the army there, but it's not happening this weekend for sure. All right, Rangers though. Rangers are going well. Man, so much to do. It's all right, we're getting it done. That's the important part. Not discouraged, not giving up. Doing good work. Yeah, Quentin seems to have designed his list for the mirror, so I'm curious to see how that will go. Yeah, if it is Jack versus Quentin, so here's the thing. I know Quentin and Jack both pretty well. I'd consider them both very, very good friends. If I'm being objective, I would say that Jack is probably a slightly better player, but Quentin is very, very good. However, Leonard, that's the thing. Quentin is a Tau player. Jack is a player who has, I believe, played 8 games with Tau, all 8 at this tournament. He's done very well, but he has played 8 games with Tau in the current codex, and he didn't play any games with Tau in the last 2 years. So Quentin is a Tau player by trade, and I think he did build into the mirror because he's played the mirror and has won it. So I think list advantage and experience goes to Quentin. Raw player skill goes to Jack. But all of it's close, right? They both have really good lists. Quentin is a very, very good player. I've played Quentin quite a few times now. He is a very strong player. He's absolutely someone who could beat Jack in the finals. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. I don't know. They're also, this is my favorite part, they're also sharing a hotel room and drove up together. I just find that funny. I always love it when like you play the final match against like someone that you like rode up with. I always find that fun. What units do you think are best in Eldar right now? So I'm gonna answer that with Craft Worlds. Craft Worlds, Janzar is my favorite Phoenix Lord. All the Psychers are good. Are at least good. Autarch's really good. Troops, Rangers are my favorite. Guardians, not inspired by them at all, honestly, but I like Rangers. Aspect Warriors, Howling Banshees are my favorite. Striking Scorpions are good. Warp Spiders are really good. Hawks aren't bad. Hawks honestly may be better than Scorpions. But I like Warp Spiders and Howling Banshees a lot. So as you've noticed, I've got 10 of each of those getting ready. Tricky. What else? Vehicle-wise, I think Falcons are my favorite vehicle other than Night Spinners. Night Spinners, I don't like them, but they are really good. I think that just going to straight AP2 on their guns is an amazing buff for them. They're not even like paying points for it. They just kind of got the buff. And I'm like, woo, crazy talk. Crazy talk as far as I'm concerned. But I like Falcons. I don't think you need many. I think just like 1 or 2 Falcons is a nice, like, pseudo Ravager kind of piece. Good. Yeah, I like normal scatter bikes as well. I think they're just really cheap and useful, and just it's a bunch of shots. That just adds up. I don't know on what custom craft world I would like. I do like custom craft worlds a lot. The problem was I like read through it and I was immediately like, oh, there are like 7 of these that are good. Wow. And then I didn't really like choose my 2, so to speak. So that's kind of a tricky part, is that I haven't looked at craft worlds in the which one am I building my list around yet. Although I really do need to get around to doing that. I think the classic hit and wound reroll on an indirect detachment is still so good that it's hard to say no to that. But I definitely don't think that's going to be the only way to do it. All right, we are dry brushing some white, folks. Indeed, we are. Just trying to lighten this up. Lighten it up nice and easy. Easy does it. Okay. I wonder if I should airbrush the white for these. That actually wouldn't look bad. Yeah, that might actually be a better idea. Airbrushing the white definitely be faster. It's tempting, actually. What do I think about Ynnari? Unfortunately, Paul Jan, I think Ynnari are the worst part of the book. It feels like GW was being very cautious to not let anything broken slip through in Ynnari. And I think they succeeded with room to spare. Craft Worlds seem very strong with some options. Harlequins seem really good. Like I really like Harlequins. They look very fun, and they look like they have some plenty competitive options as well. But Ynnari, I feel like got the short stick in that regards. Where I don't think that they got any of the interesting and good stuff that Craft World and Harlequins got. So other than the Incarn does look really good, but I don't know if the Incarn justifies the army, frankly. That's the hard part. Did they keep Ignore Cover as a custom trait? Was playing yesterday, so I've not had a chance to dive out yet. Yes, Matto, they did keep Ignore Cover as a custom trait. You can take, instead of having a reroll, a hit roll, and a wound roll, you can now either reroll a wound roll, +1 leadership reroll a hit roll, or ignore cover. So you're not getting all 3. But you could just decide not to ignore cover and say, you know what, my guns are AP2 where they used to be AP dash, that's even better, and just call that good. Just go reroll, hit, reroll, wound, and just say my guns are about higher AP, kind of call it even. Or you could very well go ahead and do like reroll a wound and ignore cover is probably what I would do. What makes the clowns good? Leonard, what a question. I think it's because Harlequins have they have this almost the same number of tricks, but they got the updated profiles and stratagems for 9th edition, and they introduced some new mechanics like reroll wounds. I think Harlequins are going to be a really tricky, good secondary and primary denial army. That's my prediction. But we'll see what happens. So many Rangers. Painting the Rangers that ride on bikes. At the moment, that's what I'm doing. Quick little dry brush here. There we go. Yeah, I just think, we'll see where Harlequins may end up being too fragile. They may end up doing anything, frankly. But I think it is worth getting them on the table. So I imagine that upcoming streams, at least for me, if I play Eldar in upcoming streams, I'm almost certainly going to take a Harlequin spin on it just to see what it plays like. The old Eldar indirect spam list is absolutely still a thing. It is the same as before, but it's better. That's it. Bill Gross. Harlequins will still have some issues with Mortal Wounds, but they got a really good relic that is an aura of 5 up, feel no pain against Mortal Wounds, and I think that they should take it because it's not core locked, so it works on vehicles, bikes, characters, everything. I personally think that relic may be worth taking, but there's quite a few good relics to choose from, so I don't want to pigeonhole into exactly one thing. You know, there's going to be a lot of options. Yeah, actually, I really like the white dry brush over Holy White for Army Painter. I had been doing a lot of Holy White and like just kind of trusting Adam that was going to be a good look. Hadn't actually tested it yet, and so far, amazing. Love it. Very happy. All right. How close are you to finish painting the 3K army? Snivar, a little bit of ways to work, unfortunately. So I think we can get it done by the very end of the day, but it's going to be close. Biggest problem, frankly, is the fact that our basing material has not arrived from the mail, so the army is not getting based today. Unfortunate, would have loved for that to happen. Unfortunately, not in the cards. Frankly, I don't know if I would have had time to do it anyways, but we will see about that. Maybe I'll end up with a bunch of time. I don't think so. There's a lot going on. I didn't get to work at all last night. It was actually kind of a problem because we ended up watching Return of the King. Return of the King extended edition. It's a hefty 4.5 hour movie. Watched that with Nick Nanavati because it's his favorite movie of all time. And we wanted to treat him, so we watched Return of the King with Nick. He really liked it. Nick actually hates Lord of the Rings, but that's his problem, and we still made him watch it, which is great. So I'm optimistic that all of the vehicles are really close to being done. Really, I just need to do like a white dry brush and then a red on the gemstones. I've already put some silver on there. I've already painted the vision slit separately with the airbrush, so they're ready to go on when the rest of the tank is done. I think the tanks could be done very quickly if that's what I was doing, but right now I'm working on painting the Guardians. That is what my priority is at the moment. Just trying to get 20 Guardians good to go. Just the goal was to have kind of 2 of each troop choice, and then we work from there. So we've got 2 units of 5 Rangers, 2 units of 10 Guardians. Those are going to be painted and good, and whichever one we end up favoring is probably going to get more built and painted of. Although we'd have to get the Rangers, but we've got 20 more Guardians new and spruce. We could make it happen. One way or another, we're going to get them. Harlequin troops, though. Talk about good. I think Harlequin troops are great. Although they're not core, which is hilarious. I think we're just kind of all assuming that they're supposed to be. We'll see what happens. Need to put Mr. Chester to work on it when he gets in. Mr. Chester, I don't know. Mr. Chester's not a hobbyist. Is a generous way to put that. Chester doesn't build, he doesn't paint, he doesn't base. I don't know if I would trust him with the army. I really don't think that I would. Alright, one down. Lots of Guardians. Do we have confirmation? Don't think we have any confirmation yet on whether or not it's whether or not Quentin is one. We'll see. Sounds like the tableside updates I'm getting is that Quentin is doing pretty well. So hopefully he can finish up that game, and then Jack and Quentin can fight to the death. Or to honor, you know, maybe to the pain, Princess Bride style. You never really know what you're getting. What's everyone doing in the chat? Is everyone else hanging out with me? Are they painting? Are you hanging out and hobbying? Anyone else was watching the Table War or War Games Live? Yikes! Stream. Let me know what you all are doing. I always like it when like people comment and say like I'm doing this right now. You know, I saw people mentioning building 36 Hormigons. That is, I've been there, my friend. It is excruciating. But when it's done, it's awesome. You know, I love having a ton of bugs on the table. Need some like easy to build Hormigons, honestly. Frosty Forge says not yet, just checked. Yeah, it looks like Quentin hasn't won yet, but I think we'll be good. All right. Hoping that he holds on. It would be really fun to see Jack versus Quentin. Corey is painting Craft World as well. Heck yeah, people are getting ready for the Elf weekend. A lot of Eldar players are very, very excited about this one, and I really think they should be. I think that this book is awesome. Lamb Bill said he tuned in to watch the slaughter. Yeah, heard that I watched some of it. That the game seemed like it was not close. Tau shooting is brutal, turns out, right? Hello, Ironheaded. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ironheaded has been hanging out with me for various points of this. Always glad to see you back in the chat. Thank you, everyone, by the way, who stopped by to hang out. I really do appreciate it. Paul Jan is doing 2 Forge Fiends as Thousand Suns. Good. You know what? Those Forge Fiends deserve some love. We also have 2 Eldritch Omens Forge Fiends sitting new on Sprue. And when we get a Chaos Space Marine Codex at some point, I'm gonna build them as whatever they're best at, and we'll just see if they ever get used. I choose to believe. Derek Mass is painting your Adepticon army. Awesome. Is this for the singles event, the team event? I'm really excited for Adepticon. I might be painting my army for singles right now. Who knows? Eldar is definitely an option since I'm guessing we won't have Tyranids in time for Ye Olde Adepticon. But the team event, I'm going to be playing Ultramarines. Ultramarines in the team event. So I actually, as soon as I'm done with the Craft World here, so about end of the week, I'm going to start really working on building and painting my Ultramarine army. Really excited for that. It's going to be a fun time. I missed the airbrushing of vehicles. Ironheaded, you did. I didn't do it on stream. There's quite a few. Let me show what the vehicles are looking like right now. So this is where the vehicles are at right now. I've got 6 hulls, just like this. So really happy with how the green's coming along. See, I have to do it here because I can't do it on the green screen. This all happened. This was a lot of airbrush work. So far I've done silver on all the gems. This is going to become red. I've already done a test. The Army Painter speed paints over a dark silver, then a light silver dot, then the light red. I think it's called Slaughter Red. Looks pretty solid. Let's see. I did like 2 tests on the front of this Night Spinner chart. So little red dots on the top. I'm very happy with it. I think the green, I'm really happy with. And I have to do some white detailing on all the weapons still. That has to happen for sure. But right now I'm just dry brushing white on the Guardians because they've already gotten their Holy White, which is the Army Painter speed paint. And I gotta say, dry brushing white over Holy White has ended up looking pretty darn good as far as a very basic white goes. White's kind of hard to do fast because if you lump it up, it's not gonna be good. But still, at only 2 steps, this is probably the best white at 2 steps that I've ever seen. So for a fast white, aka painting Bealtan Guardians, this is about as good as I've ever seen for white. So I am real happy. So I'm using the Army Painter small dry brush, and we're just going down the line, painting white. Did I pin wash the panels or pinpoint airbrush? Ironheaded, I did it with I just used a brush. I just washed the panels with a brush. I really should pin wash. Our friend Frosty Forge needs to help me out with that because he's good at painting and I am dumb at painting. But that's why I have smart friends so that I can give them a little bit of that personal coaching and they can give me some of that painting help because goodness knows I need it. Frosty Forge, you're in the chat still, I hope. You were earlier. If you are in the chat, help me pin wash. This would have saved a lot of time and I would like to do that next time because there's probably more Eldar getting painted if we're being honest with each other. And I should pin wash. So, Frosty Forge, will you help me learn to pin wash? Yeah, non-stream Ironheaded. I have not been doing all of the painting on stream. The airbrush specifically, I just can't do that on stream due to how our setup is. I can't move the computer over there, and I cannot move that that whole setup over here. It is just not set up for it, and really not going to do that. All right, Guardian down. Next. Oh, so many Guardians. This is agonizing. Coolies, you are speed painting, so what you did is enough. That is true. It does look pretty good. The speed painting is fast. I'm getting a lot done here. And yeah, I think when I'm done with all the whites everywhere and I'm going to let that dry, I'm going to bust out the codex and I'm just going to sit down for like 5 minutes. I'm going to just do the points of what I'm expecting to have done painted by the end of the day. And we're going to see how many points that ends up being. We'll see if I was shorting myself, if I was being ambitious. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, offhand, what I'm trying to get painted done by the time the day is over, other than basing. Again, basing material has not arrived. Big sad, but, life goes on. What I'm hoping to have done by the end of the weekend is HQs. Jane Czar, a Farseer, 2 Warlocks, a Spirit Seer, a Foot Autarch with some war gear. Troops, 2x10 Guardians, 2x5 Rangers. Elites, 10 Warp Spiders, 10 Striking Scorpions, 10 Howling Banshees. 3 jet bikes, 6 Ranger jet bikes that are probably called Shroud Runners. 2 Falcons, a Wave Serpent, 2 Night Spinners. I think is where that's going to end up. We'll see. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing is going to happen. You are proving the concept of speed paint by Army Painter. Yeah, it is. This would not be nearly where it is without speed paint. So I think speed paint, does it do what it says it does? Yes. Speed paint is exactly what it's advertised as, and that is good because that is exactly what I want it to be. Oh, gotta get the faceplate. Need more white. Here you go. Also, this is not speed paint at the moment. I'm just using the Army Painter white, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Army Painter white is the best white. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Yeah, GW white makes me big sad. Even when I was using all GW paints, I would use GW paints and I would just go steal a bottle of Army Painter white from Nick because I just could not. I just could not justify using GW Corax white. Frosty Forge says, of course they'll help. Thank you so much, Frosty Forge. Teach me your ways. Give me the mysteries and I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll pay you. Maybe I'll buy you dinner. Maybe I'll destroy your Space Wolves. For some reason, you seem to equate those. I like killing Space Wolves. Imagine speed paint for an Orc Horde. Oh, speed paint on an Orc army would look fan-frickin-tastic. I think Eldar lend themselves fine to speed paint, but I think something like a Chaos Horde, a Tyranid army could look really good in speed paint. Quentin 1, Art of War Finals it is, says Frosty Forge. Quentin is like Art of War adjacent. We need to work on getting a good old boy Quentin on the team. But Art of War adjacent, but he is a War Room member, even if he's on threat level midnight, and he is going to be in the Stream House next weekend as part of the Stream House RTT. So great showing for Quentin. Really, really proud of him. Glad that he is kicking butt. So top 2 is Quentin versus Jack. That is awesome. You know what? They drove up together. They're running similar concept Tau list where they're both doing very crisis heavy, but they're doing it in very different ways. Different steps, different war gear loadouts. So really curious to see how this one breaks down for them. That'll be a great game to watch, no doubt in my mind. Frosty Forge says, no more wolves, you're back on the pointy ear train. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll get some games in. Maybe I'll play against your pointy ears. I may need some pointy ear practice myself, though. I'm warning you now. It's happening. The elfening is happening. I'm being corrupted. It's those Harlequin rolls, man. Those things are so cool. Kind of good to go. Another Guardian down. Keep going down the line. A Tyranid player is a great player. Heck yeah. See, Tyranid's player is what I'm going to be the second we get that Tyranid Codex. See, I was really hyped about Force the Hive Mind after LVO. I was like, you know what? I really like this list still. I want to keep working on it. And then GW was like, oh, by the way, the next book after Craft World Eldar is Tyranids. And my Tyranid motivation dropped. I was like, oh, well, if Tyranids are the next book, I'm not really practicing for anything. Tyranids are really good, but if they're not going to be in play for any of my team events this weekend, because they'll have a new codex presumably by then I was just a lot less excited about it. So I've just kind of taken a little bit off, yeah, I'll just wait. I'm not going to mess around, not going to do anything crazy. Just hang out, paint a lot. Maybe I'll play some elves for a little bit, but then that Tyranid codex is coming, and I am going to be the happiest boy. New Tyranid rules is exactly what I need. Get revitalized. Will Shadow Specters get an update? Is that paint question? Probably. Will they get a rules update? That is a good question. I do not know. I would assume that whenever there's an FAQ for the Eldar Codex, that they will same day a Forge World update to make sure that all of the Eldar units have the same war gear options that they should, that they mean what they should. I assume that'll happen at some point soon. We have 10 Shadow Specters in the house. They're not part of this painting challenge, but they are something that will need to get painted at some point. So maybe the next time those are good, I'll go grab those out of the Closet of Doom. We'll get them painted. Hey! Callum King says, I'm finally getting back into the hobby after a few years, just looking for a point in the right direction for army options. Well, Callum King, that really comes down to what you are looking for. I think if you're looking purely from a competitive standpoint, and you're thinking, what's the best armies? There's a lot of armies right now that are competitive. But Column King, it really comes down to what you're going to enjoy. If you're getting back into the hobby, focus on an army that like makes sense for you. Like if you're like a diehard Marine player, Marines are not the most competitive army in the game right now, but they're good enough that you could play them and I think still compete at a high level. So that's an army you love, then play that army. If there's an army that aesthetically or paint-wise you want to do, if you haven't painted in a while and you pick something that you realize that you hate painting, you're a lot less likely to enjoy your time. So Callum King, all comes down to you, my friend. Good evening, Sark. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hello, everyone. Dun, 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 dun. My goodness. Just... I keep doing this, by the way. I know that I'm painting off stream again. Dry brushing a White Eldar Guardian. Because we're going Beal Tan. More like Beal White. Haha, got him. Custodians are the cheapest to buy, 100%. If you're just looking at a nice competitive army on a budget, Custodians are the best in the game. Money to value, not even a doubt in my mind. Custodians are the best army in the game to collect. Hey, how's army speed paint? Better through an airbrush? About the same. I think it's good through an airbrush. Works though, which is really nice because sometimes you try to put a paint through an airbrush and you're like, oh, this did not work how I wanted whatsoever. Have not had those problems, which is excellent. All right, keep going strong. Dry brush and white. Goodness, why are there 20 of these jerks? There's too many, perhaps too many. Got the arms, got the legs, got the head, and next, going down the line. You know what? I'm gonna take a break from Guardians. Guardians are killing me right now. I'm gonna dry brush white something else, which is not gonna change much. I've always loved Tyranids, but I always got wiped off the table. From what I've heard, that isn't the case anymore. Tyranids are very, very strong right now. They're also about to get a new codex. So if you're going to do like a slow grind, build up an army, Tyranids are a great thing to have. And I would just start off by getting like a little bit of everything, I think. That would be my recommendation for if you tell me you're about to start playing Tyranids. Tyranids are awesome. I love Tyranids, especially if you still have your old models. And they're about to get a new codex. So now is the best time to get a little bit of everything for Tyranids. So Tyranids, I support this. Fully support the endeavor. The idea of an Iyanden Wraith army is very enticing. Willpower slowly eroding away. I really like Iyanden Wraiths. I like Wraith units from a lore perspective and from a model perspective for Eldar. And then Iyanden, of course, makes the most sense for Wraith units because ever since High Fleet Kraken did its dastardly deed, Iyanden is just like all Wraith units all the time. So I could really support an Iyanden Wraith heavy army. I think that's really cool. Kevin is bummed there's still a lot of old models. Is that for Eldar or Tyranids? Because they both do have a lot of old models still. I think Eldar probably still has more old models, but they did get a really nice update in this current wave, and with the Avatar and some Shiny Spears coming up next. I think that's good. They'll probably need another release along those lines, or like a box set in the future that has like plastic Karandras, plastic Striking Scorpions. That's what I would love to see. That's all I'm saying. So that's what I want. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, Callum King, glad I could help. Hopefully, well, first of all, welcome back. Hopefully you enjoy our concept of the Art of War. Guaranteed, by the way, when we get that new Tyranny Codex, I'm going to be playing it up, down, left, sideways, all over the place. I'm going to play a lot of Tyranids when that book comes out. Oh boy, I love Tyranids. They were my first army ever. Them and Gene Cult are probably my favorites. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Dry brushing white. This does not take a zero amount of time, but we're getting there. Hey, yeah, cool. Then we'll get back to those darn Guardians. Oh, those things take a while. All right, so we know it's Jack versus Quentin in the finals, Tau versus Tau. Do we have any predictions, by the way, of this Tau versus Tau mirror match that is going to be going down on the War Games live stream? Looks like they're going to start in 20-ish minutes. All right, dry brushed all of those. Nice. The tank guns, that's airbrush problem. That's what that is. I've already decided this is an airbrush problem. So we're gonna just zip them all over there. all the way downfield. Still have my Swarm Lord, but that's all. What would be the next couple boxes you'd pick up specifically? All right. If you're buying Tyranids right now, if you have a Swarm Lord, I hope he's magnetized. If not, see if you can. If not, get a new one. No, Callum King, ask questions all day. That's what I'm here for. Okay. If I'm getting into Tyranids, what boxes do I recommend right now? Get a box of Warriors. Get a box of, like, Hormagaunts. Get Gene Stealers. Get like the iconic troops, maybe even Gargoyles, although they're probably less iconic. But I would just get like a little bit of the basics and then kind of like save up a little bit and just be ready to like go buy a couple of a certain monster or whatever the case may be whenever you see the book and you decide what direction you like. Really hard to say what will be good and or fun, but if there are some models that you just like the look of, with a lot of the recent books have not had a ton of bad units. So I'm hoping, really, really hoping that no matter what for Tyranids, there's going to be fun options and fun ways to use just about everything in the book. That is what I'm praying for Christmas. That is what I'd like. We'll see if that's what we get. Really hope so. All right, Jack 100% says Hoodio. Hoodio has all of the faith. Faith in our War Room coaches. And you know, you should. It's not smart to bet against Jack. I'm going to guess Jack takes this one. I think the man's got it. I think this is his event. I think it's going to happen. We'll see. Yeah, I agree, Matto. I think that the FLG of terrain in general is just very not 9th edition, and I get that you can't replace that all at once, but I agree. Would love to see a couple more L's in there, because I think it contributes to the shooting that Tower bringing down on people. Would agree with you on that. All right. More Guardians. So many Guardians. John, given your interest in clowns, why aren't you playing Harlequins for the RTT? Sam Hunter, it's because we didn't want to do clowns and craft worlds at the same time as two different armies. Brad really wanted to play craft worlds. Also, I'm going to be honest with you, Sam. When we were picking armies, your boy John was on vacation. I was in North Carolina, took my girlfriend there around Valentine's Day, stayed for a week, had a really great time, really wonderful, wonderful event. After LVO, I needed a bit of a vacation, because I hadn't taken vacation in a very long time, and you know what? I wanted one, so I took it. And then they were picking armies, and I get a text, I'm like, hey John, what army do you want to play for the Streamhouse RTT? And I like start to type. Before I type, I get Tyranids, Gene Stealer Cult, Custodians, and Eldar have already been taken. And I'm like, well, what's left? And the answer was Sisters of Battle or Space Marines. So I'm keeping faith. Hoodio is keeping faith in the coach? Absolutely. You know what? Jack's a good coach. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about this one no matter what. But the Tau Mirror match is tricky. It is tricky. I really don't... I don't know. But I know that Jack and Quentin are really good friends. So I think they're both like happy to be there. Happy that the other one's there. So I think this is going to be a super relaxed, super chill finals game. I think they're going to have a great time. All right, just cleaning up the brush real quick. This thing with dry brushing is even though the paint is good right now, like sometimes you got to like clean off your dry brush just to make sure that nothing's getting like gunky and stuff. All right, what do we got? More freaking Guardians. How many of these things did I build? Too many. Way too many. I don't need this many Guardians. No one needs this many Guardians. Maybe Guardians are going to end up being really good. I'm going to be like, oh, thank God I have all these Guardians. But I have 20 more. 20 more new ones per. So if Guardians are good, we will do something with them. Promise. What's up? Hoodio. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, man. Yeah, dry brush over holy white. Really happy with it so far, honestly. It's just been very fast. Very fast for like a good white. All right. Off we go. Yeah, Harlequin's really interesting. I'm actually kind of sad because I've been painting just so much this weekend. I actually haven't gotten to like sit down with the Eldar book for as long as I want. I really want to like sit down and start writing lists because I like them. I like a lot of things, but I haven't put the points together in any meaningful fashion yet. So I couldn't look down and say like, oh yes, I know for a fact that this is good. This is what I want, etc. Like this is like a 2K list. I have no idea what a 2K list looks like. But I do know these Guardians are getting painted. They're getting dry brushed with a quickness and a sickness. Alrighty. What are the names of army painters' white options? So their generic white paint is called matte white. Really a big fan of matte white. Think of Corax white that doesn't get super clunky all the time. It's like that, which is better. I like when my white is not super chunky. Their speed paint is called Holy White. And Holy White, despite the name being Holy White, is actually like a very light gray. And I think Holy White really wants the dry brush when it's done. I think Holy White really likes a white dry brush over Holy White because I think that the gray is like dark enough that you get a really good contrast once you've done that. You get a nice layer to it. You get some depth to the white, which obviously is good because otherwise, if I didn't want depth, I would prime white and never paint it again. God, that would be so much easier just saying that out loud. That sounds great. I should do that. I think people would notice though. John, thoughts on custom craft world traits? It really depends on what you're doing. I think for a support battery, you go reroll hit, reroll wound, and you take a bunch of indirect. And that, my friend, is a boring answer and one that I don't really love. So sorry that I said that out loud. I really hate acknowledging that like indirect spam is good because I don't want that to ever be the identity of a faction, but it is really good. So what else would I do? I think going for like a combat mechanic of like exploding sixes and then taking a bunch of craft world like aspect units, I think could be really good. The exploding six in combat and like the +1 AP in combat, or the +1 wound out of transport. All of that seems solid. Is Holy White a little brighter than Apothecary White GW contrast? I think so. Truth be told, I used Apothecary White like once or twice several years ago, and I was really unhappy with it, so I just kind of shoved it in a box of paints and I haven't looked at it since. So I don't want to make a direct comparison when I don't have it directly in front of me, like both of them. But my memory is that Holy White is lighter than Apothecary White. But the dry brush over the top has been magical. It's also numbing my brain. Ooh, hate how that works, right? Let's get some water. Where's Blake Law? I wonder what Blake Law is doing. I'm gonna text him. He was thinking about coming on today. We'll see if he is going to make it. Blake Law, of course, host of Unbroken. Absolute wonderful. Absolute gem. Just going to send him an ominous message and see what he responds with. Indirect fire equals artillery equals the king of battle. Yeah, artillery is the king of battle. I know, who would have thought, right? But it is true, and once again, it is really, really strong. And taking it is better than not taking it. Again, you just hate to admit that out loud, but I think it is just a cold, hard fact at the moment. We need to get those, is the problem. We don't have the Shadow Weavers and stuff. Doodle-doo-doo-doo. Yeah. Let's see. Blake is not responding. How unfortunate. Truly tragic. Looks like we got another like 15 minutes before they start the final game. Tau versus Tau. It is going to be a bloody one. It really, really is. I have like no idea what a Tau mirror match looks like. If I mean, like, I have literally no idea what a Tau mirror match is going to look like. It just sounds terrible. Is it like who gets shot first? Is it who goes first and isn't in range? Like, what is the scenario here? I don't know, but Quentin has played it and Jack has not, so that is going to be quite interesting. I could just see it being really brutal, where one person gets shot first and loses a lot. Yeah, Hive Guard are nasty. 100% Hive Guard need a nerf. I hate to say that because I love my Hive Guard. But, I said this before actually on the stream earlier today. My take on the nerf to Tau is that Tau don't get nerfed at all. And you make it so that you can never reroll a hit or wound if you target something you can't see. Ever. You can't reroll a hit or wound against anything you can't see. Done. Call it that. Hope they don't destroy Hive Guard in the new Codex to Rad unit. Yeah, I hope Hive Guard get a bit of a redesign, but I hope that they are still somewhat viable in some iteration. However they do it, I don't know, but it would be really, really nice if they were to make Hive Guard just a good, balanced unit that can be taken but can't be spammed. That would be the ideal scenario. Tower's Tower historically was a lot of chicken around threat ranges. I fully believe that. Tactical command. So maybe it's going second and kind of having the edge in that game of chicken because you can afford to make the last move. It's mission 33. I would personally absolutely love to go second if I were told that I had to play a Talver Tower. I would try to hide, and then that would be that. Maybe what you do is you reserve one big suit unit, and you infiltrate your stealth suit super far forward. And you're like, hey, if I go first, now I'm going to turn one, just drop the bomb of the crisis unit, like a crisis unit with full rerolls to hit and wound, and you really try to do some damage. Maybe that's a game plan. And then you if you go second, you just take that stealth suit and you redeploy them back and say, yeah, that's not going to work, but now I'm going second and I'm going to be conservative. That I could see being the move. I don't know, folks. That's my take. We'll see. Jack and Quentin, I hope you're watching this, even though for some you have a stream game in 10 minutes, so probably not. Tends to be a very mobility-based matchup and actually kind of interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, I can tell you that both of those armies have a lot of mobility built in. So if it's a mobility fest, it's going to be a show for sure because both of those players put a lot of mobility in their armies for a very good reason. I think it's mandatory. Need of Hive Guard is cool, but spam bonkers and direct's not really fun. Simon, I agree. One Hive Guard unit is my favorite way to play Forces and Tyranids right now. But I just don't like second. I really don't. Alrighty. Quick glance at BCB indicates that Town Custodians might actually improve on their results from last weekend. I think GW will wait till May. They've established what their plan is for balance updates. I don't think they're going to diverge from it so quickly. I would love it if they did a quick update on Town Custodians literally on Monday. They need it. We know they need it. We know what the problem is. Let's do it. Go ahead and get this over with now. There's no need to make people wait on something that very clearly needs to be done. But maybe if they spot the problem now and they're like, okay, I acknowledge we have to make a change, and then start playtesting the balance right now, maybe it'll mean that the nerf when it comes will be impactful instead of being something a little bit forgettable. I don't know, the first 5 Drukhari nerfs before they finally got whacked. Goodness knows they needed it. If you got artillery, go first. Yeah, but the Tau has a lot of short-range artillery, and that is an interesting thing. But it's going to be cool. I'm really happy for that. Really happy for Jack and Quentin making the finals, both. I don't think Jack or Quentin have made the finals of an FLG event yet, so both in there for the first time. One of them's about to get their first FLG major victory. Jack won Wars in Atlanta, but I don't believe Quentin has ever won a major. So I don't even know if Quentin's won a GT. If his first one is Cherokee Open, that'd be really impressive. We'll see what happens. I'm really happy for him either way. All right. Sisters Exorcist, indirect fire stratagem, boom booms. Oh, Ironhead, I love my Exorcist. The solo Exorcist, an absolute champion. I love an Exorcist so much. I really hope you believe me when I say that. I'm just a big old fan of the Exorcist. Alrighty. Tower really short, good. Tau do not need in the Grimdark at all. Oh yeah, a lot of people always like to give that line, and you know what? So do I. Get Tau out of here. I'm kidding, of course, but I will say that historically, many of my rivals have played Tau, and so it's always something to watch out for. I've played a lot of games against Tau across many editions. Honestly, I wonder if I've played more against Tau than any other army since I started playing 40k. Because I have played against a lot, and I mean a lot of Tau. It was a very heavy Tau player base in the Florida meta. So I would like go to events and I'd play like the majority of my games against Tau. Like I went to Crucible, played Tau 3 times in a row after playing like 3 out of 3 games at RTT against Tau, and it's like there's Tau everywhere. Miss Vindicators being the king of distraction card effects. Oh, I miss Vindicators in general. What a unit that I am confident we will never ever see again ever. Maybe I'd be wrong. Maybe they just they'll keep making them 5 or 10 points cheaper, like a Fire Raptor, and then one day we'll wake up and be like, oh wow, this is good now, and then they'll have to nerf it again. Glad you love The Exorcist 2. Years of no direct option always hurt, especially since it came out in 2004. The vertical pipe launchers. Yeah, no kid. The vertical pipe launchers not being indirect. Hate that I have to use 2 CP. I really feel like that should be 1 CP strat for The Exorcist. But here we are, 2 CP, no way around it now. Just gotta either pay it or don't. Honestly, I don't find myself using it that much in real games, but it is a cool thing to have. All right, here we go. More like Tomahawk launchers shoot up then flattens to be a cruise missile. Yeah, I suppose that is what the Exorcist is. The 2004 Exorcist was a murder weapon? Yeah, it was. I remember that thing being scary at the time. I wasn't playing in 2004 to be clear, but I've played against Exorcists and against Sisters a decent amount. I remember them in some old books. I've been playing for like 14 years. That was a while ago. Boink. And one more Guardian and we're good. Oh my goodness, that's too many, but we are just about there. That is where I want to be. One CP indirect, exactly. 1 CP indirect, I think would be fine because you still could not spam that because you can only use the stratagem once a turn, so you couldn't really spam Exorcist indirect. But 1 CP, I would love that. I don't even use the Exorcist for indirect much. It's more like the threat of it, so people don't just leave 4 servitors on objective. Because if you just leave 4 servitors on an objective, I'm just be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop that up now. Like, thank you. Alrighty. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. What do we have here? It's sad that GW does not want to make the Land Raider good. Yeah, it's a fair thing. It is sad. I would love for the Land Raider to be good again. Make Land Raiders like iconic again. Honestly, I just need to make a Primaris like Land Raider tank. I'll pay for it. Like, who am I kidding? If there's a giant Primaris Land Raider, I would take it. It could even be like an upgrade sprue. Like, you take the old Land Raider, you give it a Primaris weapons type upgrade sprue, and just call it good. Like, I would be 100% down for that. All right, dry brush down on that Guardian. All 20 Guardians have gotten their white armor done. So they just need their speed paint green and some speed paint black. That'll be pretty good. Now what I need to do is take a detail brush and go do a little bit of touch up with the white on all the aspect wearers, because I'm going to have to paint their like pouches and robes and things. And I did that a little bit too fast with the speed paint, so I actually painted some of it in like green and dark red, and that needs to change. So that's okay. That will not take too much time. Mostly just the warp spiders needed, I think. We're going to go down the line to make sure. Just whoever has a tassel, I'm just going to paint it, like, I think for warp spiders it'll be green. It'll probably be green on all of them, just to keep the Beal Tan theme. Yep, white so I can speed paint over it. There you go. Repulsor's the Primaris Land Raider, has way more guns. It is, but it's not as tough somehow. I think it's actually pretty similar, but it's a 3-up save. I don't mind Repulsors, but I don't know, I just don't feel it. It doesn't have that same weight to it. Ah, there are the tassels. The Exarch has a ton of tassels. He got him on his legs. Ridiculous. That will end up green, I think. Land Raider needs to be good or cheaper, way cheaper. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind a Land Raider being just better. I don't think it needs to be cheap. It's like it's a Land Raider, but give it something. See, I feel like Land Raider should be -1 damage, but then -1 damage has spread out too much. So at this point, I'm like, maybe it doesn't have to be -1 damage. Like, maybe we don't need that in the game after all. There we go. Another Exarch. Going down the line. So I've got like pistols that I have to paint, like holsters that I have to put brown on these Scorpions. And they're green right now, and they need to be brown. So we're gonna do white, then brown. Speed paint. Options of las cannons and custodians, it helps. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind the custodians Land Raider at all. It just costs too much. Data sheet is fine. Yep, there's his tassels. Warp Spider models are so old. They are like unbearably old. We're going to go down the line. We're going to get it done. Half damage is the new hotness. Oh, God, no. I don't want a half damage Land Raider. That sounds good in none of the ways that I want for the game. So that sounds too tough. But you know what? Maybe wouldn't be the end of it. Who knows? I feel like half damage is too much. Like we saw that being a problem in the old Space Marine book. I don't think it needs to be brought back. John, can you feel the Incarn and non-Ynnari list? So as far as my reading goes, I think the answer is yes in an auxiliary detachment. I don't think you can take a Ynnari patrol and then a Biel-Tan patrol, for example. I do not believe that it works that way. Could be wrong. I really, really could be wrong. That's my interpretation after a quick read through. I'd have to sit down to the book a little more. I did not read it with like those kind of questions of mine. I read it as like what rules are good. I didn't check that the deep interactions, honestly. But I will definitely go back and check that sometime. Thanks everyone who's hanging out with me. Really appreciate it, by the way. Said it before, but I will absolutely say it again. Weird warp spider models. What is your favorite army to play ever? Like, Leonard, I'm gonna ask for some clarification. Are you talking my favorite faction or my favorite army that I've ever played? Like list-wise. Based on what you've seen in the stream house and discussions with Jack and Richard, is there any army that is a decent matchment of both Custodians and Tau? Pending the Craft World Codex, which I think the answer is yes to, but it's way too early to tell, no. I do not think there is an army that is a decent matchment of both. I really don't. Yeah, no, Relic Land Raiders were cool. And I would love Land Raiders to feel a little more relic-y, honestly. And even give them that like relic weapon thing where they get the -1 CP if you take it, and then make them way better so that you don't spam them, but they're actually like cool. Wouldn't mind that. And pointed to be rare, yeah. Like 2 Land Raiders in the list feels like too many. 1 Land Raider feels like something that would be really cool to have. Would love an excuse to buy a Land Raider, I really would. Army list. Oh boy. All right. Favorite army lists of my end of 7th edition Gene Stealer Cult list was really, really fun. I liked that one a lot. But we didn't play it for very long because of 8th edition getting announced. Hey, Michaela H, what's up? What's up? You see, that's my girlfriend. She told me to stop saying Michaela H in the chat, but I'm going to do it. Hi, love you. Favorite army list though, that is tough. I really, really liked a list I wrote in 8th edition, and I took to the LVO before Leviathan. So like, this is like now a little over 3 years ago. And it was an Index Gene Stealer Cult with Tyranids, like Kraken Tyranids, and 3 Vulture gunships. And I thought that was a really cool list. It was something I'd never seen anything like it. Like no one was running a similar list. I like completely did it myself, and I was very happy with it. I think that would be my favorite, honestly. That I was very happy with that list. I was proud of it. I won a couple GTs with it. Took it LVO. Went 5-1. Unfortunately, I took a loss to Andrew Gagno by 2 points. 2-point loss to Andrew Gagno. But other than that, I went 5-1 and crushed 5 other people and really enjoyed that list. It was a ton of fun. And that was Castellan meta too. Is the year Brandon Grant won. That was the list I took, and it was good into the Castellan. It was good into a lot of meta armies. Just unfortunately, I lost to Andrew Gagno's Sisters of Battle. Really, really close game. I can't complain. It was a great one. Always is with Andrew. I think that was my favorite, honestly. That was 8th. 9th edition, though, like, I've loved a lot of lists. Like, I loved the Sisters list I won Lone Star with. I loved the Ultramarine list I took to Atlantic City Open. That list made me so proud. I'm a proud papa with those Ultramarines. And the Forces list that I took to Austin and won the New Orleans Open with, really happy with those, too. Tough calls. Really tough calls, honestly. Let's go through the Rangers. Do any of them need that? Nope. Nope, that's good as it is. Nope, that's good as it is. I think the Rangers are pretty good. That's good. Nope, that's fine. That one's good. Yeah, I think the Rangers are just totally fine. Excellent. That's what I want. Okay, cool. But the Scorpions, striking Scorpions need some paint and love. I think the finals are coming soon. We'll see about that. Woo! Man, I always hate being in this room in the afternoon. Like, just the way the sun hits around 3 p.m., this room starts getting a little bit toasty, a little bit too warm for me. We'll see how long I can make it, though. Could just let Land Raiders carry Primaris units? Yeah, no, honestly, I have no idea why they can't. Like, just put them in. I get it on a Rhino, but Land Raiders carrying Primaris units, if they can fit a Custodian, like, you can totally fit a Primaris Marine. Like, what are we even talking about here? There's no way an Intercessor can't fit a Land Raider. Just don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. Nothing on the Exarch, that's good. Going down the line. Cool. Man, I'm really excited for this finals game, even though it's Tau versus Tau. I'm really excited to see how it plays out. Yeah. What is everyone else doing in the chat? Anyone got both tabs open? This and War Games Live. Anyone just paying, hanging out? Appreciate the company as always. I know I say it a lot, but I'm going to just keep saying it. Like, who am I kidding? None of their characters are firstborn anymore. Yeah, true. Are we doing a finals watch along? I have the finals. I can't listen to it, but I have it up because I've got 2 monitors. So I've got it up to the side. I can take a little peek at it. This guy is good to go. Finals. Yeah, Call just hates that land guy. Yeah. Call's like mad that Arkan Land was there first. Because I think they meet in like the Horus Heresy novels too, like there, because they both exist around the same time. Maybe Call is like jealous of Land and is like, I'm gonna make a backpack that can't fit in a Rhino. Screw him. Or like in a Land Raider, Land Speeder, all that. They don't have Land Speeders, they have Storm Speeders. Yeah, totally different. Totally using the same tech, but you know, totally different. Tau vs. Tau equals table flip. Everyone wins instead of them. Ooh, you know what? There are 2 nicely painted armies there. I actually helped Jack get his army ready. Didn't do any painting, but I did the magnets because every single crisis suit in Jack's army is magnetized, and I did that. And I gotta tell you, it took a lot of time. Shocking no one, that took a lot of time. Got a Gotrek for Age of Sigmar that I'm building. Going to prime up the big dragon soon. Ooh, nice. The big dragon for Age of Sigmar is just something I want on my hobby table as like a project. I just think that would be really fun. That would be really, really cool. Okay. The white is done there. Do the Banshees need any white? The white's done there. If I'm done with white, and I don't know if I am yet, but if I am, then I'm going to... James R doesn't need any white. Just see about the new Banshees. If I am, then I'm going to take a second and grab that Eldar Codex. I'm just going to point out where I'm at right now. We're just going to see where that's looking. No, I think I'm done with white. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to go take a second. I'm actually going to switch off the stream. Not switch it off. I'm going to go to a break screen. I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then I'm gonna go grab the book, and then I'm gonna be back in probably about 3 minutes. So give me just a second. I'm gonna refill my water, grab a snack as well. I will be right back. Thanks for waiting for me, everyone. One moment. Alright everyone, hello, welcome back. Thanks for waiting on me. Just had to go take care of a couple quick things. Get an Eldar Codex, of course. Yeah. Oh, we'll see. I might have a Blake Lodge on me soon. So yeah, we're gonna take a second, let some white dry. I'm gonna go figure out how many points I'm painting here, because I haven't actually looked at that. Like I said, 3,000. I was just kind of painting a lot. I was hoping it was gonna be 3K, but we're gonna go to this paint section. We're gonna find out the old-fashioned way with a calculator, because battle scrap's not gonna work. Autark is 80, 20, 100, 115, 120. Cool. Farseer is 95. So many HQs in here. Wow. Janzar is 140. That's cool. Spirit Seer is 70. Yep, got 2 of those. Warlocks are elite. Oh, you can't take a single Warlock as a character anymore, as an elite, as an HQ. So Warlocks are 40. Okay, cool. Troops. Guardians. 90 with a weapons platform. I took the... could have built a more expensive one. I built the cheap one, so 20, so that's 110, so 220. Done. Rangers are 13, so 65, 70 with the little disc that I gave them. Yeah, 70, so that's 140 for both. 865 so far. Alright, elites. Howling Banshees, 180. I got 10. Striking Scorpions, 17, so 170 because I got 10. I did that. No, none of that. Fast Attacks, Shroud Runners, 35 is 105 for 3, so 210 for 2. Okay. Warp Spiders are 20, so that's an even 200. Wind Riders, Scatter Lasers is 75. Falcon, 140. I gave my Bright Lances, so 160. Okay, 2 of those. 1, 2. Night Sprinters, 140. I'm going to assume I didn't give them the cheap little upgrades. 1, 2, 3. And a Wave Serpent in a dedicated transport slot is 140 plus the Bright Lances, I think, what I built, so 160. So it looks like about 2,600 points of Eldar is what I'm probably going to end up at. Not going to quite get that 3,000, it looks like, because I don't have anything else built to do, and I'm not going to build it and paint it today. But hoping that I can get 2,600 points of Eldar done, and if so, I'm going to call that a pretty good start. And we're just going to keep cracking, because I've got some more Eldar new on sprue to keep going with. You know, I was hoping I could get like Mog and Ra and some Dark Reapers painted, which would have gotten me really, really close, but not quite going to make 2,600. That's a pity, but you know, we're going to keep grinding. I'm going to try to finish out everything that I've got so far, and we're going to see how that ends up. Alrighty. I don't know, I don't keep up with the tournament scene lately. Anyone in the chat know what event is this Tile vs. Tile final being held at? You can catch a stream. That is on the Cherokee Open. The War Games Live is the name of the stream. Alright, Ironheaded is back to offline work. Have fun. Thoughts on Solitaire? I like the Solitaire. I don't love that he can't take a Warlord Trader Relic anymore. I don't think he's going to make my list, but he doesn't seem bad. So he's kind of one of those fringe units, like will he, won't he make the cut? It's pretty close. It is pretty close on that. So we'll... my guess is no, he's not going to quite make the cut, but he's definitely good enough to consider. Where if you like the Solitaire yourself, putting him in a list doesn't look like it's going to be like inconvenient or a bad choice at all. And that's important, you know. You don't want units that you like to just be terrible. So what I need to do next? Letting that dry on the Warp Spiders, letting this dry on the Scorpions, Rangers are basically good. These guys basically good. Eyes are getting painted later. I think we're going to apply some speed paint. Time to crack it out. Actually, I haven't done much speed paint today. We're going to do some speed paint on these bikes. Yeah, Tactical Command. Yeah, the War Games live stream is really good. As a matter of fact, we're actually going to have War Games Live coming on over to help us out with our streams. We're really excited to have them for a few days. Really hyped about that. So we'll have War Games Live over here ahead of our Streamhouse RTT, looking to update our own stream setup in advance of the Streamhouse RTT. And Joe from War Games Live is going to be helping us out because he is a wonderful human being. 3, 4, 5 should do. I'll use the regiment brush. Can't go wrong with the regiment brush. Painting by the regiment. Can't go wrong. That's the dry brush. That's the monster brush. That's the detail brush. There's the regiment brush. Good. God, I got nervous. I'm like, I can't lose my regiment brush. That would just be unacceptable, really. Okay. Yep. Working on the bikes. Lots to work on with these darn bikes. Wonder if I should do brown on the seats. It wouldn't look bad, actually. Yeah, let's plan on doing that. Speed paint is saving my butt. Of course, we are doing this little challenge in collaboration with the Army Painter, who's awesome and has supplied us with some speed paint to speed along the process. And I can't say enough how much it has helped me get as much done as I have. Even if it may only be 2,600 points of Eldar, we're going to call it really a good weekend. Because I think I'm getting 2,600 points of Eldar done. I think I'm going to get everything here tabletop ready by the end of tonight. Ooh, lots to work on though, right? They couldn't make it easy on me. I'm gonna switch here. Yep. Let me pull up that War Games live stream just so I've got it ahead of me. Really nice to check in, see how the friends are doing. Yep, they got Jack vs. Quentin setting up. Looks like they're doing the train right now. This Tau vs. Tau final mirror thing is gonna be a challenge, no doubt in my mind. Alrighty. You could sort of just give everything max upgrades. Ethan, yeah, I really should have. Because I magnetized a lot of this stuff, but I'm not painting all of the guns at once. So each thing that I'm magnetizing, I put the magnets, like for example, a Wave Serpent. It's got 2 guns on the turret. And I magnetized it, so I put the guns in the turret. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to build 2 guns, and then I've got a bunch of guns new on sprue. So, when we're writing lists and we're like, oh, let's do star cannons, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I don't have the star cannons built yet, but it won't take long. It's kind of the thought process. But I don't want to waste all of my magnets magnetizing every possible option. I find that that's inefficient. I learned from Tyranids that you magnetize the best loadout on and you don't do anything else. And then when the time comes, the edition changes, the points get updated, the meta shifts, and you realize you want a Venom Cannon instead of Scything Talons, then you go find the sprues, because I'm a bit of a nut about keeping my sprues organized, and keeping bits. Maybe it's because I magnetize like this. Then I go find that, and I'm like, aha, I have you now, Venom Cannon. You're coming with me, and we're going to get you a magnet. And that's when I'll magnetize it. I won't do it all at once. Because I started doing that, I found it was a huge waste of magnets. A Hive Tyrant would take 16 magnets, and I'd be like, wow, I didn't buy that many magnets where I can just do this every time. So I just wait to find out when I need an option, then I'll go and magnetize it. I'm gonna catch that stream as it appears to be starting. Have fun painting. Thank you so much, Tactical Command. Thank you. Appreciate everyone who is with me. Let's see. Gonna be exciting. Oh man. These speed paints are really just saving my butt. If anyone needs to batch paint an army ever, if you're just trying to get it done quick, good quality, fast, speed paint has been really just top notch, honestly. I can't say enough about how genuinely useful it's been for getting all the aspect worries and the basic colors done really quickly. That has been the best part. This bike, I just did all the gray on it in maybe 2 minutes. And when it dries, it's going to be smooth coat, and I'm not even going to need to do anything else to it. It's just going to be the gray, and that's it. That's going to be it, and that's going to be done. I can't argue with that just for time. I think I am actually going to make it even faster by switching to the monster brush because of what needs to be painted. It's a decent surface. I'm just slapping it down. We're going to do that. Monster brush. They took the brush. It was a monster brush. Look at that. Plenty of talk going down on that War Games live stream. Man, I'm just really happy it's Quentin and Jack in the finals. Sad my boy Mark Perry fell just short of top 10 with a really good 5-1 showing with his orcs. Or top 8, I should say. I think he did make top 10. But Tau finals, let's get Tau nerfed, people. Quentin, Jack, thank you for your service. Let's get this Tau mirror match over with so we can get them nerfed. Jack vs. Quentin finals, indeed. Clown mode, indeed. I've got it on myself. Looks like it's going to be an exciting one. I'm sure it's going to be bloody, like I can only imagine. Like, I feel like there's going to be a breaking point where someone gets shot and they like look down to the table and be like, oh my god. No Custodians points drops went. Oh, clown mode. Oh, you jest. Surely you jest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. William Crookshank says, hey John, have you thought about the Knight Censure with Silent Judge in Custodians? William, give me a quick reminder here. What is that Warlord trait, Silent Judge? My memory is the no obsec. Oh, aha. They're literally saying it now. Thank you. Yes, it is the no obsec. I like the Knight Censure a lot. I love her as like a -1 to hit aura, where she just parks behind the castle. Like I actually love her with like I like her in Shadowkeepers with like my 9 whatchamacallits, Sagittarium Guard, where like when people come in, I just like pop the -1 to hit aura, and she just hangs up behind because, you know, she's a Knight Censura. She just is there. That is what I really, really want to do, is like run her, giving her a Warlord trait. I don't mind. I don't hate the idea, honestly. I wish I could give her the Custodians relic, because I really want a character just to do the just to carry the redeploy relic, honestly, because that is just something I'm unwilling to go without, truthfully. What are you watching it on, John FLG? I'm watching it on War Games Live. War Games Live is the name of the YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, they are wonderful quality. Good friends of ours. Joe from War Games Live will be here in the Art of War Streamhouse this week. He's actually driving directly from Cherokee to Tallahassee to join us in the Streamhouse. So I'm actually going to see Joe tomorrow. And he's going to be helping us out as we're looking to improve the cameras on our stream table. We're always looking to make better quality streams here at the Art of War. We think our streams are good, but they could always be better. And we listen, we pay attention, and we know that Joe's been doing a great job, so we're asking him to help us out a little bit. Really, really, really excited for that. I'm the guy you were talking to about Shadowkeepers last paint stream. Heck yeah, William. You know, I'm really about the Shadowkeepers. Ethan, I know that you and I are going to be talking about Custodians quite a little bit tomorrow, actually. We've got a client call scheduled for tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Just letting you know, Shadowkeepers, Ethan, that is what I think the way is. That's where we're going to be going. Doodle-doo. My thinking is that if I put Trajan on one objective, her on the other, it probably becomes very difficult to take them off me ever. She's also cute versus armies like Genius the Cult. She is kind of cute for that. What are you thinking? You're going to give her the sword? You're going to give her the flamer? I think the sword is fine. Like, just keep her as like a not terrible combat unit to hang out with the Sagittarium. I kind of want like a Calexis with Sagittarium, though, like a fight last. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky. Yeah, we'll see. This is Gravelord Grey that I'm using as the speed paint that's going on the fuselage of the bike. Just Gravelord Grey, nothing else. Not going to go over it with anything. I'm just going to put Gravelord Grey down. Call it good, because when it drives, it is pretty darn smooth. And it looks pretty good. So 1, 2. 2 bikes down. 4 of these Shroud Runners to go, and we're just going to keep coming. War Game stream, yeah, War Games Live. Tau vs. Tau. Oh boy. It's too much Tau for me, folks. I gotta confess, I'm not much of a Tau fanboy. Really not. But happy for Jack, happy for Quinn, happy for Art of War. So we're gonna let him get at it. Just say I've purchased plenty of options, can't wait. Heck yeah, Ethan. That is... Oh, with Custodians it's easy to do, so that is good news. Alright. Oh boy. Yeah, really big fan of Shadowkeepers. Like, we all started on Emperor's Chosen, and I think they're both very good. But I think current meta, I am all aboard Shadowkeepers. But maybe Emperor's Chosen end up being better again when Eldar's back on the menu. That is a very real consideration as well. I don't know. Gonna find out together, right? Flamer's super good, but I don't think I want to pay for it. I also don't think I want her, and the Calexis seems like too much into not work models. I definitely don't want both. I'm with you on not having both. I was tempted by the Calexis or her, and it's hard. It's a hard choice. I also want Inquisitor, but again, it's hard to have her and Inquisitor just from a points perspective. Like, how many models that aren't Custodians am I willing to buy? Is it more than one ever? it's really hard to justify more than one non-Custodians models, if I'm being honest with you. Like one Assassin or one, Knight Centura or one Inquisitor. Any of those things, if you like told me you liked it, I'd be like, you know what? I can see it. I can really see the reason for bringing that thing. Taking two is really hard for me to justify. But I want the Knight Centura and Draxus is what I really want. I just cannot find the points to get both of them in a list comfortably. So I like my Sagittarium a lot. Looking at the rules, I feel like Emperor's Chosen may be a little more forgiving to play. That is probably true. I think if you start out with Custodians or switching to Custodians, Emperor's Chosen. Once you've gotten some reps in with Emperor's Chosen, you make that switch to Shadowkeepers, a little more comfortable with the army, and you're building at that point specifically for the Mirror match and the Tau match. That's when I think you do it. I think in those two matchups, you're looking a little bit better from Shadowkeepers. Everything else, Emperor's Chosen is the way. They're solid, rock solid. Switch that around. Yeah, Emperor's Chosen is also just so there are no wrong choices. Like, who am I kidding here? Nothing is bad in Custodians. Both of those two are super good. All right, that's another bike done. Doink, down into the pile. Her and Inquisitor's only 10 points over the Calixtus, though. Yeah, she's 50. Inquisitor's 60. Yeah, Draxus ends up another 25. Then you're like 35 more. Her and just Inquisitor is nice, but what I really like is a bunch of Sagittarium with Draxus, so that when I need to bully in combat, you go charge, make him fight last with the grenades, and then like all the Sagittarium to swing, and that chips really well, I found. That's what I've enjoyed, at least. All right. Need to do some water there. I'm getting thirsty. Okay. Let's get it going. Where are you coming down on Dreads? I like that they're probably the most resilient thing in the book per point, but they're not OBSEC. I really like Spear Dreads. I was hot on them, then with Tau I got cold on them. Now with the way Tau is trending, I think I'm right back to being hot on them. I love the Dreads a lot. Shield Dreads are also very good. Spear Dreads cheaper and hit really hard into Crusher. And good golly, Miss Molly, I hate Crusher Stampede when as a Custodians player. So I think Spear Dreads, though, I could very easily justify swinging them back into the list. Really big fan of Spear Dreads in general. I would love to have them on the table. So yeah, I've got two of them. I kind of want a third, honestly. Like, I'm just in love with them. And I actually like them more than bikes, which is weird. Because I'm a little bit low on the bike train right now. And Jack thinks I'm crazy for that. Jack's like, oh, bikes are the best thing. You have to spam bikes. I'm like, I think I would take one unit of bikes in a Shadowkeepers list. Emperor's Chosen, 2, great, perfect, love it. But, I don't know. Shadowkeepers, I think I just like one. Where you coming down on Dread? Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Working with the gray. Going as fast as possible. Speed paint for a reason. We're going for speed. Going fast, though. At least the gray does go down pretty fast. I love that it does not take that long. Dries pretty smooth, which is really what I'm here for. These bikes are very interesting models. I don't mind them at all. They don't. Talking, of course, about the Shroud Runners, which are the Ranger bikes that came in the new Eldritch Omen set. Just think that these bikes are pretty cool. I don't know if they're good. 35 points will make a model. It's the same cost as Blade Guard. It's not cheap, but I think it's like relatively durable and it's very fast and it shoots fine. Like, I think I like them. Like, I think that they're good for their points because they're just not that expensive and they do a lot. It's a scout moving bike. Like, it could be so good at tagging and move blocking and tying things up because they have really large bases too. 4 is closer to 0 than 9 will win you over. I'm not going to 0. I know Matt Lores is on the 0 bike swing. I cannot justify that in any way, shape, or form. I really like having one squad. Just give me one squad. Like, do not deny me that, please. I can't do it. But I could definitely justify it to myself getting some more dreads in there. All right, I think that bike is... Oh, no, missed a spot. Missed a pretty big spot right there. Don't want to miss a big spot. Gotta get that covered. Just like this whole side I didn't finish up. All right. Now that bike's done. So that's 4 bikes done. See how fast like that gray's coming along? Like 4 bikes done real quick. Where do you have Necrons in the meta? Better than people think. I think Necrons are B plus A minus. Were you planning on, what are you planning on doing with bases here? There, just technical paint or? So with bases, I'm actually going to do the army painter method, I think, which is using a bunch of the their army painter material, and I'm going to put some glue on the bases, shift it around in their sandbox, and then I'm going to dry brush over that, and then do some snow. So it's going to end up being a gray gravelly base with snow details. That is how I envision that finishing up. We will see. We will see. But that's kind of the goal. I think versus Tau, one is genuinely better than 2. It stops them being able to split fire on bikes. Exactly. That's the thing, is that into Tau, I think that that's correct. And into Custodians, I don't think that bikes have to be the win condition if you out-obsec your opponent by a significant margin. I think that you can use that as the win condition. We'll see on that, but I really like Sagittarium, so they're like my favorite unit, honestly. Yep. Looks like Army Painters gave away their box set in the finals game. Looks like they're looking at secondaries. Man, this Tau Mirror matchup just has me so excited for the players. Could not be happier. So sad for the armies. Couldn't be more sad. I'm just not a Tau guy. It's at the end of the day, I'm just not a Tau player, it looks like. All right, what else we got here? Yeah, not really, but genuinely really, really excited about Shadowkeepers. That is what I would be playing if I was at Cherokees. I would have brought a Shadowkeeper list that was heavier, that was less heavy on bikes. I would have had 1 bike squad of 4 man, and I would have gone with a bunch of other stuff. I think that's pretty good. I really want to build to the last into Custodians as a better secondary. That's a huge thing for me, is that I was very disappointed in Custodians having a weak secondary game. And so I was really looking at how to make that better. Is there a particular assassin you like in the Custodians list? I like the Inquisitor idea. I think so because of how Agent of the Imperium works, you can only have 1 Inquisitor or 1 assassin in a detachment, and you really never want 2 detachments in Custodians, at least in a traditionalist. The Calexis is by far the best, because it brings a fight last along, which is really valuable. Fight last in Custodians is brutal. Not that interrupting in Custodians always works, it's just that having a defensive fight last like a Calexis makes charging them just literally impossible. And once you establish that you are the dominant combat army, you get board control, you drive people away from you, and you're durable on objectives, you're going to score a ton of points. So definitely the Calexis if you're looking at an assassin, but I'd like an Inquisitor as well to unlock psychic secondaries like Draxus. Huge fan of Draxus. Man, Draxus, what a lady. She's just my favorite Inquisitor. I'm totally colored by bias here. I painted a Draxus model up to what I believe was a very high standard. So she's definitely my best looking Inquisitor-ish model. So whenever I'm thinking an Inquisitor, I'm always can I make it Draxus because she has a dragon and I painted her well? And that's important, right? You want to take pretty models. Bikes playing for 2 of the last feels terrible. Yeah, you're really not wrong, William Crookshanks. You're really not wrong. But I can't justify no bikes, and I think 1 big bike squad, and then Trajan bike captain would be my to the lasts. We'll see. I would we'll have to keep building things. Maybe I end up on no bikes, right? That's a weird place to be, but I'm not ruling it out completely. But I don't think that's where I'm going to end up. All right, that's another bike. 5 bikes done, 1 to go on the Shroud Runners. Keep it coming. Oh, Quentin wins. He gets to play Tau, and Jack and Seek have to play something else. Ha! Let's comment on the War Games Live thing that Mr. Richard Siegler is not going to allow or condone. Richard may not be at the event, but as far as he's concerned, he is still the Supreme Sieg Commander, which is a name I just made up, but I'm sticking to it. There we go. Need a little more of that Gravelord Gray. There we go. Oh boy. Tell you what, 3 days of painting really can burn you out. I'm ready to not paint after this. I really am. We'll see what happens. How are we doing, chat? Did Blake ever message me? Maybe we'll get a Blake in here soon. Need someone to carry my conversation. Chat, how are you doing? How is everyone in chat? Tell me what's going on in your lives. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you're painting. I want to hear all of it. Oh, here's some noises. Sounds like Mr. Nick Nanavati has returned. He was out with his puppy for a little bit. I'm guessing that's what those noises are. Maybe it's a neighbor. I don't know. Never really know when Nick's going to come back. He comes and goes, you know. Nick's a wanderer in all aspects. Oh, there he is. There's the Nick. The Nick is back. Oop, the puppies are going wild. Love hearing the puppies get excited. But on the downside, when the puppies get excited, chaos happens. So you never really know there. Just painting. Speedily speed painting. Need for speed paint. Sharok was at their first little tournament, went 3-0, came second. Well done, Sharok. That is an excellent showing. That is much better than I did at my first tournament. My first tournament, I lost my first 2 games, but I won my third. Snuck out a victory there at my first tournament. Went 1-2, and that was good enough for me because I was 13? Sounds right, 13. Yeah, wow, that was... Time does fly, huh? Flies when you're having fun. Flies when you're getting old. So, quite a few years ago. I joke, of course. I'm not actually old, but, you know. It feels that way sometimes. Frosty Forge is trying not to go cross on his cloak. Any tips on painting the gold Custodians then? Any quick techniques? Step 1, get gold primer. Let's be very clear about that. If you are going gold Custodians, get gold primer. GW Retributor Armor does work very well for Custodians. I think Army Painter has a gold primer as well. Love Army Painter primer, so would never go wrong with that. For painting gold Custodians, I'm a big fan of the airbrush. So I do a gold primer, then I use my airbrush to wash them. I just wash everything. And I wash it with like a flesh shade. I usually use a flesh shade over gold. And that gets a nice, like, deep, rich gold. And then I'll go ahead and, again, airbrush a very light pale gold over that. And then I'll do a dry brush with my brush of a silver. But a very light dry brush just to really make them shiny. And I have personally been very happy with how my Custodian's armor looks. And with 3 of the 4 stages done with a spray can / airbrush, doesn't take that long. And let's be honest here, if you're painting Custodians, part of the reason is because you want your armor to be done fast. And you know what? If you use this, it will be. Oh, Blake is asking, how do I tag in? All right, Blake, that is a Skype call, and I'll tell him that. Put a headphone in so I can talk to the Mr. Blake. Pull up Skype. That, of course, is Blake Law, who will be joining me there. Here he is. Da-da-da.
Can you see me?
I cannot. Not see it.
Turn on your video so Siegler can see you.
Mm-hmm. You should do that.
Hey!
All right, welcome, Blake. Let me just turn on the Skype capture to make sure that everyone else can see you.
Oh, I'm on stream.
You will be soon. I'm on stream. Let me
Oh.
make sure that I can get you in. Hello, chat. I'm sure as you can hear me, I'm trying to get our wonderful Blake in. What? Did he remove it? No, he shouldn't have. Trying to figure out which window capture it is. Oh, I think he actually removed it. All right, I'm gonna create it real quick. So let's.
Ooh.
Ooh. How's it going, Blake?
That's not good.
What's not good?
I just touched my palette.
Oh, you can't do that.
To see if it was dry, and I realized it was a blue oil paint that I painted Nick's model with.
Oh no.
Now it's all over my hands. Oh, it's.
Chat, let me know if you can hear Blake. I'm pretty sure they can hear you. But I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, I think I need to just fix the window capture. Let's do that. We'll just choose Skype. Ah, yeah, that was it.
Nick's Broodlord came out actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know if Nick will agree, but he's hard to please.
He really is. Nick wants his models to look as bad as possible, and that's why he paints it that way. Looks awesome. I'm gonna ask you to hold that up again once I've got the Skype capture.
Oh, you can see it. I didn't know you could see me.
I can see you. Oh yeah, I can see you.
Oh, I was putting it up just to see if I could see it.
Yep, I can see you just fine. Like I'm just trying to. Why is it not showing Skype? There we go. I think we're getting it. All right. So I just need to drag you down to size. All right. Blake, see if you can get it more in the center of your. Actually, no. Where you are is fine. Where you are is fine. Here, I got this.
I can get more in center. I just gotta move some stuff. My room's a mess. I been doing our Adepticon team stuff all morning with a team of local people trying to hammer out crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I am super excited. I mean, obviously, I know you are too.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. All right, I'm gonna transition over. So, hey, they can see you now. Welcome, Blake.
Hey, everybody.
Yep, we were just hanging out in Hobby, and I'm working on the Eldar army, and goodness, it is not going. It's not going slow. Lots happening there. Hold it like right in front of your face. I cut off the edges on both sides. There you go. Nice red tactical marine.
Yeah.
Who would bring a tactical marine to Adepticon? Like, that's ridiculous.
What is it?
I said, who would bring a tactical marine to Adepticon?
Yeah, I know. It's you'd think they were doing something to do with pre-Primaris.
Ooh, manlets? No, I would never believe that.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I bought tactical marines just for this, so clearly I'm as crazy as you are.
Oh yeah, I bought a box of them, and I'm excited. I'm about to do a little bit of. Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you just fine.
Oil wash on these homies. So
nice.
I got them up to a kind of zenithal red. We're doing a lot of army painter stuff. So I did. Let me show a little bit. I have this all the way on the other side of the room. But I did the armor painter pure red is what I'm using for my my base on this.
Nice. Armor painter pure red. That's going to be real good looking. All right, chat can hear you confirmed. Excellent. That's what we wanted anyway.
Nice.
Alrighty. Man, painting jet bikes is weird because like they don't have bases to hold on to. It's making things hard. We're gonna do it.
Did I throw away? Oh no, there it is. Oh, I'm doing a little bit of a. Have you done this before? Where you take oil paint and you thin it down with spirits?
Blake, you know I'm a noob.
Oh well, this is a oil wash. You take like 10 parts of this to 1 part of this, and I got my little doop doop thingy for it.
The little dropper.
Dude, it is like it's what people commonly call like streaking grime, and I'm sure you've heard of that, like streaking grime.
Yeah, I bought streaking grime. But I'm told like I could have done it easier than just buying it, but I just bought it online.
Ooh, you don't have to buy it, bro. You can literally make infinity streaking grime. Just this is basically the streaking grime one here. This is burnt umber. I can't say it. 502 some German word. Abetung or
oh man.
So but you can use any oil paint really. Just mix it like 1 to 10.
Okay. Well, perhaps in the future I'll try that, but I'm going to use my streak and grime first because darn it, I paid for it. I'm going to use it.
It's what I did for Nick's too. So I painted up Nick's Broodlord. I didn't strip it, but I took it down, and all the blues were. I did like a blue transition with the streak, not streak and grime, the oil washes or whatever.
I would have stripped. I've seen that model. I would have stripped it.
It was so textured because it was so thick with paint I don't know if you can see it, but like the face, I literally just did a bunch of like soft markings to make it look like his face is textured because his face was textured because he'd built like 20 layers of paint up on it.
Yeah, that's how Nick paints white.
Yeah. I told him you gotta paint off white, man. You gotta go off white to go white. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm all about light gray with like a dry brush of white. Like let me just paint like my light gray marines and now.
Oh yeah, that works too. You can just get in there, go light gray, work it up from there.
Frosty Forge joking around saying we finally have a good painter on stream. It only took us 3 days to get there. Indeed. Which is a joke, of course, because Frosty Forge was here yesterday and he is a great painter. But I am just hanging out here trying to make a mediocre painter look better. Using all the tricks I can to just look a little bit better every time.
Dude, your stuff looks solid though. That's I mean your paint scores were good last season too. You look at like Art of War, I think it was me and you at the top, and I think Ganyo scored a good one.
I would fully believe that Ganyo had a good score. He's definitely the kind of guy who would do that. He's got some good looking armies.
He had a pretty good score at LVO.
Yeah, I believe it. I didn't get my army paint judged at LVO, I
Did you
think.
have it painted?
What's that?
You didn't have your army painted at LVO? Oh, you did your Custodes.
I did custodes. I didn't have it paint judged. Because I had my buddy painted it for me. So I mean not that his army looked good, but I didn't go get it paint judged because like it wasn't mine, so I wasn't as concerned with the ranking.
Oh yeah.
You know, like whenever like I paint an army, I want to be like, oh, let me see how it does. I wasn't thinking about that. Plus, it was LVO. You know what my mind was on at LVO. I was fixated.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right. So, what are you working on? You working on the Blood Angels over here?
Yeah, I'm doing right now. Can you do I don't know if I can even get my camera where you could see it. I don't really have much of a. Do you want me to stay like here, or do you want me to like get it down where you can see what
wherever
I'm
it
doing?
is. I mean, put it on your face if you want, or you can. It goes about as low as your chest. It looks like. But I can see a tactical marine.
I'm taking this dude. I basically have. I'm mixing up my burnt umber oil paint in with this odorless thinner, and I'm going to make a little wash. I'm going to see what happens with it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, just do a little test, see what it looks like.
Yeah, if it looks bad, then there's just going to be one tack, because I don't have any testers. There's just going to be one tack marine that's a little goofy, so that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I think it'll look okay. I mean, I always repaint. I always like do a test model and then sometimes I restrip them. Usually I just paint them thin and then like reprime them and just call it a day.
I had a box of Tau Fire Warriors because I'm playing Tau this season, so I was like testing out a million schemes with it, and I had a box. I painted each one of them a different color of like green and all kinds of stuff, and I hated all of them, and I ended up just like ruining like an entire box. So
into the paint stripper.
I'm probably gonna have to strip all of them, strip a box of dudes. So that's
So what have you settled on a paint scheme yet for your Tau?
I think I'm gonna go with if I play Tau, I may end up playing Tyranids.
You know what I'm gonna say to that.
What are you gonna say? Do it? Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tyranids. Tyranids are a better looking army, and people who play them are better players, and it takes more skill. And Tau are stinky.
Well, here's the situation I'm in is Nick had never played me. I played Brad, and Brad was like, your style isn't what you're playing. And then I played Nick, and Nick was like, yeah, you're not a Tau player. And I was like, oh. I don't know. So he thinks I'm more of a either Eldar or like Tyranid player.
Nick thinks everyone's a Tyranid player, but that's right because everyone could be a Tyranid player. They're just a wonderful army to play.
Yeah. So I played Tyranids back in 5th. Back when they had the screaming thing that dropped in. What was that thing called? The Malantai.
The Doom of Malantai. What a legend! I loved the Doom of Malantai.
I used to drop that thing in and screech like a pterodactyl.
I can imagine you specifically screeching like a pterodactyl.
I did, and people either loved it or hated it. It's one of those things. Very polarizing.
I could really see some very mixed opinions. I'm sure whether or not they loved it or hated it, like correlated directly with how hot the Doom rolled that turn.
Dude, that thing used to murder stuff. It would just drop in and kill everything.
I could imagine like you like dropping in the Doom of Malantai, murdering an entire army, and then screeching like a pterodactyl, and some dude looking at you like he wanted to end your life.
Like, I hate you, yeah. Exactly.
Like, you're ruining, like that guy's like about to start playing Star Wars Legion because of you.
Yeah, I broke someone's spirits with the Doom Malantai. That's it was a love or hate, It wasn't the best army back then. We had things like that was back when Space Wolves were filthy. They had the the double jaws dudes, since they get jaws and they just get in rhinos and they cross each other's streams. It's like eliminate armies.
Yeah, I hated that too. That just destroyed Tau. That was the worst.
Did you play back then?
Yeah, I've been playing consistently since end of 4th edition.
Were you a baby back then? Were you like a infant?
I was 12, yeah. Went to my first tournament when I was 13, won my first one when I was 14. Kept going.
That's pretty solid.
But it took a long time to go from RTT wins to GT wins. There was a lot of years in between those. RTT wins is really just, depends on the RTT, right? Go to like an 8-person event, just win a couple games, done.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's definitely like a wild degree of like even 16-man RTTs. Like you could be like, all right, I went to an RTT and won it. Or you could be like, hey, I went to the Streamhouse RTT and won it. There's like a very
I mean, Blake, are you foreshadowing when you win the Streamhouse RTT and ask Richard Siegler to be on Unbroken?
Yeah, I'm gonna make Siegler go on Unbroken after I beat him. That's just
Attaboy. That's the power move right there. Like, I beat you, get on my podcast now.
Did you see my hype video for it?
I have not. I have not seen the hype videos yet. I could go get them. I could go into our Dropbox and find it, but I have not watched them all yet. Blake, I got to tell you, I've been painting literally all weekend.
No, I forgot you were. You texted me. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you're painting. I need to get on there and watch some of that. Well, I paint some because I've been madman painting as well.
Unfortunately, I think I'm going to fall short of the goal. The goal was to paint 3,000 points of Eldar by the end of the weekend. And unfortunately, I didn't do math. I just kind of grabbed a lot of Eldar and was like, this is enough. And I'm painting it. And then, I decided to do the math today. And I did the math, and what I think I'm going to have done is 2,600 points of Eldar by the end of the day.
That's a lot, though, man.
Which is a lot, considering, again, Friday morning, this was completely primed at most. Some of it was not primed. But nothing was more than primed. So it's going to be a solid weekend. But I'm thinking that I looked around at what could I build real quick to get 400 points, and the answer was a Wraith Knight. And then I'm just going to be honest, I'm not building and painting a Wraith Knight by the end of the day.
That sounds horrible.
I don't the Wraith Knight, that's like a centerpiece model. I don't want to rush a Wraith Knight.
Are the Wraith Knights good? Are they going to be good?
I think they're fine. They're solid. It's definitely to the point that I want to own a Wraith Knight as an Eldar player. But if I'm chasing the meta, is the Wraith Knight what I'm ordering right now? Absolutely not. Take a Gallant for 400 points and make it sweep attack damage 2 instead of D3. Then give it a 4-up invul and then -1 damage. And that is a significantly better Gallant. But it's still a Gallant, it's
Are
still.
you answering a chat question?
No. I'm just talking about what a Wraith Knight is.
Is a Gallant one of the knights?
Yeah, the Gallant. You're a Knight player. I assumed you know that. What the heck? You're just a Megara player. You're not even a Knight player.
I'm a Megara player, bro. I'm not a Megara. I just find models that I think look sweet, and I'm like, that's cool. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Someone in chat is asking if Blake is a commission painter. Blake's a really good painter. Do you do commission work?
I used to.
To do commission work.
That's how I paid my way through college.
Attaboy. I've seen Blake's armies. They look significantly better than mine. Where did you finish in the hobby track this year?
I only had 5 out of 6 scores.
Oh, okay.
I want to point out that if you average all of our scores, I was number 1 in the ITC.
You needed one more score, Blake.
I needed one more score. I finished 60th, but
okay.
I had 5 out of 6.
All right, still really, really good. I mean, I saw you put quite a few impressive armies together. I think you were mostly doing Knights and Admech, but you got invited for the overall to the GW final in Dallas.
You could have been there too, John. That was your vacation weekend, wasn't it?
It was Hanukkah weekend.
Hanukkah weekend.
Yep, and I had a choice to make, and I chose Hanukkah.
You chose right, yeah.
I chose right, and I chose relationship status.
You know what's ironic about being at the GW finale is that's what cost me the ITC track, actually.
You missed an event?
I missed an event, and it would have been number 6. I'd planned on doing 6, and I was like, it was either finale or Frontline Gaming New Orleans, and I was like, the finale's the first one ever I'm doing it.
Well, it wasn't the same weekend.
It was a weekend apart, but I was like,
but you were like, you can't do both?
No way.
Okay, yeah, because I went to New Orleans. Oh, Blake, we would have loved to have you there.
I would have loved to have been there, man.
Would have loved it.
Me and Nick played an Arkansas event. I brought Nick to Arkansas, got him out. I wish you would come. I was like, where's Lennon?
Lennon on vacation. Lennon needed sleep and rest.
But it was really fun, man. It was
It
good
sounded
to
like
get
it.
back to.
I didn't want to ruin Nick's thunder. You know, I wanted him to enjoy that. I didn't want to
I
knock him
tied
down.
Nick.
What's
I
that?
tied Nick. I tied Nick at Shiloh.
I know. I was like rooting for you. I was like, oh man, if Blake pulls this off, I'm gonna roast Nick so hard. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be so proud of Blake.
I'm actually doing a Unbroken next week. Is me as the guest with Nick interviewing me about our game, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Because as we were playing, there were just so many mistakes on my end. Nick made a couple too, actually, but on my end, there was like 2 critical mistakes that literally cost me the game. So,
I mean, it was a 1-point game, so 100%. Snivar in the chat is asking, Blake, do you have a color scheme for your Tyranids? Anything in mind yet, or is this just like a thought project at this point?
that's my the Tyranids. If I was gonna do Tyranids right now, the scheme that I would play with is like a super. This is crazy, but it's a super hot pink and
Ooh.
like a really dark, vibrant blue. So like almost like a royal blue, but it's like super like pigmented.
I could see a very dark blue.
Yeah,
bright
super
pink.
super dark, but it's like really pigmented, so it really pops.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe do like orange on like the tongue and like the venom sacs and things.
Oh, that's funny because this is the tester for it. It's orange. It's literally orange, pink, and blue. That's funny you say that.
See, I know color theory. Like not much, but just a little bit.
Yeah, so this one's 100% orange with the other colors added, but you can kind of get the idea of how they play up each other that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's perfect, John. Good color theory.
Yeah.
And, the orange was the accent, and yeah, I've been playing with like vibrant pinks. That's kind of something I've been wanting to do because I like really bright, crazy colors.
I could see it looking awesome, honestly. I don't have an army in the paint queue that I think would look good with pink, but like Eldar would have been the one, but I think I already missed that boat. So my next army that would be like a new scheme after I'm done at the Craft Worlds is going to be almost certainly Iron Warriors. That'll be the next new army I paint. I'm going to add some Tyranid stuff in between, though, I'm guessing.
Dude, I kind of slept on Iron Warriors. I was like, I remember you telling me that, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. But looking them up, man, they do some pretty neat things. Like you can do a lot of like cool like patterns and neat stuff like that.
Yeah, I also think it'd be like just from a growth perspective, it'd be a really good opportunity for me to practice weathering.
Oh yeah.
Because I John don't weather my models, like ever.
You know, it's a neat way to.
Because I play
weather,
Tyranids.
actually.
Yeah.
I discovered this like literally. People are gonna yell at me in chat for this, but I discovered it today. My dogs are barking, so I'm gonna get them in a minute. But you can take a piece of sponge, like or even like a piece of your used battle
I use foam from my army cases. Yeah, I know where this is going.
Man, but like you can weather like crazy with that.
Yeah, it's really fast. That's how I do it 100%.
If you've seen like my displays or anything like that, like I literally spent like a million years like dry brushing, wet blending, and then I was like, I could have done this in like 30 seconds with a freaking sponge.
Yeah.
So that's how all of our Adepticon terrain is getting painted, by the way.
Excellent.
I just slammed out all of it today.
Yeah,
But
Blake and I are on the same team for Adepticon, for the Adepticon Teams event. Really, really excited for that. He's playing Blood Angels, I'm playing Ultramarines. And then we're going to have Sasha and Jack Harpster joining us for that event. Super hyped. Literally could not be more excited. I don't know when we're going to... Blake is reaching. Is Blake about to pick something up?
What?
Oh, I was talking about Adepticon, and you turned, and I was wondering if you're going to pick something up. Because we haven't told people what the display board is yet, but maybe when we're closer to the event, we'll post some pictures of it in progress.
I think we could probably tell people at this point. No one's replicating it with the time they have left. So.
Ooh, you're willing to say it?
I'm willing to say it.
It's willing to say it. All right, what's going on?
So we have it's all the way out in my actually it's pretty close. I can get here in a minute if we need to. But we built a like a 5-foot battle barge. We 3D printed it, and it's freaking crazy. And it's gonna be floating over our board, and we're doing some Devastation of Bell. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
I am like insanely hyped for that. I'm really excited to paint the Ultramarines because I haven't painted Space Marines in a while, and since I kind of like started the scheme on my Space Marines, I think I've become a better painter. So I really want to like do a new scheme just for not like for the whole army because I'm not restarting my army, but I want to do a new scheme for a couple models to see what it looks like and like see how good I can make some Space Marine models look.
Yeah, that's cool. Like going back on an army you did before and like kind of putting some life into it.
Mm-hmm.
And Honestly, man, that's why I want to play Tau so bad. 'Cause Tau was my first army. It was the first army I tried to paint good, and it was like so bad. And it was yellow. Ironically, it was yellow that I did really bad on. And I'd like to
You'd like to
go back and
revisit?
get that. Yeah, I'd like to give it another shot.
I get it. Frosty Forge is giving you crap in the chat for not knowing about the sponge technique, and that's good because Frosty Forge is the one who taught me the sponge technique. I've used it on a couple of things, like my sister's tanks as like a test, but I don't weather like much, so it takes a little bit to build up to.
Yeah, it's a freaking speed technique, man. You can really hammer some stuff out with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm all about using like the hacks, the speed techniques, because I acknowledge that if I'm playing fair, I am not ever going to be the best painted army in the room. But stencils, speed techniques, hacks, whatever, literally anything I can do to make my models look better, I'm doing it. For an Ordo Sinister thematic army, is using Chaos Transfers for the signs good because I can't paint it being new. Yeah, I think so. Like if you use like all the Chaos runes and you like put that on an Ordo Sinister army, that would be pretty thematic because they should have like a bunch of like warp ruins and like warding things for Ordo Sinister. That would be cool. I love the Ordo Sinister for like Titans. I like always wanted to have like a Psi Titan model. Like honestly, I just kind of want to get the I really want to just get like the Adeptus Titanicus Psi Titan just as a hobby project. But right now I'm painting too many armies to get hobby projects that don't have rules in Warhammer. So we have to wait a little bit on that. Too many armies to work on.
Oh.
Is that ever a problem for you where like there's like things you want to paint, but like you've got to like do the armies that you're working on, so you're just like, I just can't do it? It's like I want to paint like the Sigmar dragons.
There's so many
Yeah.
freaking models that I want to paint, and just different. I'm sitting on like I can just look in my room right now and see like 5 models with no paint on them that I just want to paint.
Yep.
Bellicor sitting right here. Bellicor, Morty, all the stuff that like is cool, but there's no way I'm ever playing demons or like
Death
Guard. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's the non 40k models, because if there's a 40k model I want to paint, I can paint it and someone in the stream house will use it.
That's true.
Because like if I wanted to paint more Tyrion, which I don't because I hate Death Guard, but if I did, I could get away with that very easily because like, you know, if we didn't have a Mortarion, it's like, hey, we need a Mortarion. And that's why I'm doing the Eldar army. I'm probably not going to get in the majority of the games with this Eldar army. But you know what? I don't mind painting Eldar. And I know for the stream it is going to get used. So like, I don't mind. I don't mind taking a little time.
So tomorrow, we're releasing an episode of Unbroken, and it's kind of a really, really strange one. So we're doing a lore episode. It's straight up lore. And because I'm so hot and heavy on the Devastation Bell right now, that's what we did it on.
Mm-hmm.
And
makes sense.
We brought on the Mark from Lorehammer. It's me, him, and Brad. And he came up with this idea. Mark came up with an idea for an army that I thought was just hysterical. So like when the ball lights like get recruited by Dante and the Blood Angels to just like die basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, stand here, shoot. So he said you make a whole army of conscripts and you ally in Space Marines, and it's like just chaplains. It's just like chaplains, and then it's like a bazillion conscripts, and it's like the Battle of Bell.
That would be kind of fun.
It would be funny. It'd be awful.
Thematic.
It'd be absolutely atrocious in gameplay, but it'd be hysterical.
That would not be a good army. Yeah, you're right on that one. Right. Have you looked at the Army Painter speed paints at all, Blake?
I have not. They weren't out yet. They just came out, right?
They came out very recently, yeah. So I'm not at all shocked that you haven't.
Because I remember hearing about them and going on there to see if I could get my hands on some, and they were not there. So
yeah, the box sets are available right now, but you can't get them individually. The individual packaging is coming in March, I want to say.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be there. I mean, you're gonna be down here next week. We've got a ton of speed paints, so if you wanted to like grab one just to experiment with, might be fun. I really like them as just like a good base color because, you know, this is a sponsored by Army Painter. Let me give the sales pitch. So what I love about Army Painter speed paints is that you put it down as a single layer, and it's basically like the first layer looks like 3, and they're very smooth. You know how when you put down a contrast paint and sometimes like it dries and it looks kind of like a coffee stain? You ever had that happen? Where it gets like kind of like splotchy?
1000%. Yes, that's like every single acrylic wash.
Yeah, I feel like the Army Painter paints look a lot better dry because they're a lot smoother. They don't have that I think it's because they're reactive paints, but they don't have that like that splotchy thing when you just like put it down like a wash and let it dry, which is what I would always do with contrast. And speed paints seem to take that a lot better. I think if you want to get like, you know, top table competitive, like in the not top table, but competitive in it from a hobby track perspective, I think you're probably going to want to go ahead and do like a layer or two over it. But just for like getting the base foundations done, it seems really, really efficient.
I can't see you. Am I supposed to be able to see you?
No, my camera. You can watch me on YouTube if you want to see me.
Oh, because I was gonna say I want to see what your stuff looks like, because you're work. That's what you're working on right now, right? You have the
Yep.
speed paints going.
Yeah, I've got the speed paints going. I can send you some pictures as well.
Send me some pictures.
Unfortunately, I'm painting in green because I'm doing Beal Tan, and I immediately realized that when I hold up the model in front of the camera, there's a green screen behind me, and it doesn't work at all.
Just disappears.
So the top down, you can see the models on, but the profile camera, it's a little bit harder.
You can always see the off colors. That's perfect. All right.
Yep.
Oh. I'll tell you my Army Painter experience, because Army Painter is one of our sponsors, you know, like we talked about, and they hooked us up for Adepticon teams also. The red for the Blood Angels is freaking money. It's so vibrant. I did a tester because I was like, let's see what it looks like versus, say, like, I think I did Monument. I did Monument Red versus Army Painter. And I like Army Painter more than Monument Red, and it's like twice the price, to be fair. So it's very nice.
Yeah.
Very poppin'.
Worth it.
Worth it. If you're looking for like a true red, it's really good actually. I'm a big fan. It comes out. I put it in airbrush too, and it was super smooth. I was able to thin it down to get almost transparent, which is hard. I mean, that speaks to volumes on like the quality of paint, right? Because if you take a paint, you thin it down, you put it in a brush. And
Hi, Blake.
Like, who's that? Nick?
It's Nick.
Nicholas?
They can't see there. I kind of am. There's a
I can't
lag.
see. I can't see anything.
I can totally see.
It says Richard.
Yeah.
It has to.
It can see you on YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah. How you doing, Nick?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are powering through the Eldar.
They're looking like they're coming along.
Yeah, so there is a downside, which is that I did math with the Codex. And I think I'm going to have a 2,600 point Eldar army by the end of this.
John. So it's going to take more than 3 days for 3,000 points?
So it's same.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. Well, you're actually not done with yours yet, so...
My truck is not.
Did you not finish his?
What's that, Blake?
Did you not finish his?
No, Nick has not gone back and finished the Harlequins yet.
I thought he was done. I thought he knocked it all out.
No, he's not. That's why he watched the extended edition of Return of the King last night. I already gave him his deadline, and his new deadline before I come up with a creative punishment is the end of April.
You can't just keep adding deadlines.
Well, you need to finish the bet. You lost a bet, and you haven't finished it yet. So until you pay up on the bet you lost, I'm just going to creatively punish you. You've got over 2 months to paint the heads of Harlequins.
And glue them on.
And glue them on. What's that, Blake?
Did you enjoy the Return of the King, Nick?
Nick, did you enjoy the Return of the King? I have a headphone in, Blake, so he cannot hear you.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Attaboy.
Genuinely, it was. I enjoyed the fight scenes, and it was a good plot, but it was so long. It was 4 hours and 23 minutes long, and that is longer than the Eldar Codex. And nothing should be longer than the Eldar Codex. That thing is already too long. So, my opinion of it hasn't really changed. Maybe it's a little bit higher, but still way too long.
Return of the King is perfection.
Yeah.
At the end,
It literally faded to white. Like, the movie ended, they sailed off into the sunset, it faded away, the movie was over, and then there was another scene. It was 4 hours and 21 minutes not enough, Lord of the Rings?
It wasn't. You know when they sail off into the
Grey Havens?
Grey Havens. When they sail off, they're all crying. They're actually like legitimately crying. So
Nick
it's
has
upset that
left
they're-
because he's a jerk. Nick is heartless and has left. Middle of your sentence, Nick left.
Well,
I'm so sorry. You deserve better than that from your friend.
they're better than that. I'm a diehard Lord of the Rings fan. You can see my distance there. I have two banners hanging over Rohan and Gondor.
As you
Got
should.
them in there.
As you should. It's alright. I have a Gondor dice bag that I keep all my dice in. Love that.
I was an SBG player before I got roped in with you hooligans.
That's honestly, that's how I started. I started with the Legions of Isengard. That was like my first introduction to model gaming and GW. First thing ever was the strategy battle game for Lord of the Rings. Because there was like an ad for it in the back of like a Lord of the Rings video game, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then like kind of showed it to my friend, and then he got like super into it. So he bought something. I'm like, oh well, if you bought some models, I'll like ask for some for my birthday. So I got like a couple boxes of Urukai, and we would just like play like really small, like whatever the smallest level of skirmish that the game supported. We played that.
Did you just see that?
I did not. What happened?
Well, that picture just freaking fall off the wall randomly and hit my trophy and break it.
Oh well, that's man. Nick does that thing. Nick causes chaos wherever he goes.
That was Nick's fault. I do blame Nick for that.
Yeah, as you should.
That was my Shiloh trophy for best paint that just got crushed.
It just what? Did it just like break?
Yeah, it's glass. It broke. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix it.
Oh jeez, I'm sorry, man.
Nah, that's not a big deal.
Just go win another one, right? Easy.
Yeah, of course. Where were we talking about? SPG.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Orkai. Yeah, I got best paint at Adepticon. Speaking of Adepticon, 2017 with an Orkai army.
Ooh, nice. Send me pictures of that. My Urukai are. I still like have a couple of them like floating around in a box somewhere, like in the tray, and those things are old.
They were still pretty salty. They were really good in the edition before the last, but their berserkers took a big hit.
I like
Not that
the
we're talking about
berserkers.
SPG here, but
Those guys were cool. Maybe you know what? If they somehow get some Rings of Power rules in there, maybe I'll be dragged into it.
They do have Rings of Power rules.
I mean, like for the TV series for Amazon.
Oh, yeah. That's what you're saying. They definitely will. They'll. Actually, I don't know because they have to get the rights. That's kind of a tricky thing.
They have to get the rights from Amazon, and I'm told that
rights.
yeah, that good old Jeff is not a caring man, not a sharing guy.
Yeah, I don't foresee them getting those rights. Actually, I feel like they're gonna be really expensive.
Yeah, it's possible. We could say, all right, putting green on some Warlock friends. Oof. Warlock's gonna be mostly white with a little bit of green, but the Farseer's gonna have a lot more green to him because he's important.
Can you see that at all?
I can see that you're holding up a Blood Angel Marine.
I got the legs about done with a little bit of a wash.
Mm-hmm. Looking good.
On here. You can take that oil wash for people who don't know oil washes, and you take a little bit of you let it dry, and then you can work it for quite a long time. And you take this mineral spirit on a little Q-tip, and you can just hit the high points, and it kind of takes that off of it.
Nice. Oh man, there's so much left. That is the problem. Is there is a lot left in this Eldar army. But we are chucking through it. We are getting there.
How long are you going to be here today on the stream?
On this stream, I don't know. Honestly, probably at least another hour. We'll see. How does a good painter view a poor painted army, play against or pass? Ooh, Steesty, that sounds harsh. I'm going to speak for Blake, and he's going to correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm going to say that Blake does not mind if his opponent's army is not well painted.
100%, yeah. I don't care. It's all about the play experience, man. If you're a cool dude, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because everyone prioritizes a different part of the hobby. Like I definitely prioritize the playing to the painting, but I'm trying to put a little more emphasis on painting. I'm trying to get better. But like I'm probably never going to win best painted at Adepticon in Lord of the Rings, Warhammer, or any other game. Until I'm the one judging, I'm never going to be best painted. But that's okay. I'm just trying to get a better looking army, just to kind of appreciate all of it. Yeah, we'll see. All right.
I'm a tiny bit worried that this isn't going to come out how I like.
The Blood Angels?
Yeah. I've never painted red.
Really?
That's serious. Never painted red. Not one day in my life.
Really? That is somewhat surprising.
I painted magenta. I painted like purple. I painted like off red, but I've never painted like bright true red. I don't know why. Never really appealed to me.
Oh, I like red. I've had red on a couple armies. My Tyranids are now red. They used to be purple. Then I moved in with Nick and Siegs, and we had like competing Tyranid armies, and I started repainting some of my stuff their color scheme because I started painting Tyranids a very long time ago. So my stuff was not exactly up to date, and I was like, all right, if I'm gonna make it get better, I'll match it towards the new stuff.
Is that Chris Frost who you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, Frosty Forge. Yeah, that's Chris Frost.
Yeah, okay. I've met Chris. He probably don't remember meeting me, but I met him at an event in Georgia, like New Year's of last year, New Year's time-ish. New Year's Brawl, I think it was called.
Oh, you were at that?
Yeah, you weren't there. It was for Art of War. It was Perry was there and Jack Harpster was there, but he wasn't Art of War yet.
Oh, oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. I remember. I remember that event. I indeed was not there. Tell Blake to mix tan with his red for the highlights. Makes it lighter without turning it pink
Tan. Okay.
instead of white.
Yeah. That
I
makes
could see that. I
sense.
could see that. That's interesting, Frosty. I mean, I just use like 2 different shades of red. But I'm a plebeian. I don't mix paints. I just like whatever color I can get out of a bottle. That's what I do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. With primaries especially, like using like a neutral color like a bone or something or a tan to really
Mhm.
get that to take it down without taking it too much to the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, I could see it working.
The base on these guys is actually what we do fur brown. Yeah. Are you using fur brown for the base on your Ultramarines?
I'm probably going to. Yeah, I have not started painting the Ultramarines yet. That is next week's when that's starting.
Are you
Basically,
doing it on stream also?
what's that?
Are you doing that on stream also?
Somewhat, probably a lot less, but I'll definitely be on some Hangout and Hobbies. Definitely less though, but I'm looking at basically trying to get the Eldar army like tabletop finished like this week. Obviously I'm trying to get like most of it done this weekend, but there's probably gonna be some bits and bops that I have to add, and I'll get to do those real quick, and then I'm gonna like actually take my time. But if I can paint 2,600 points of Eldar in 3 days, then I can paint 600 points of Ultramarines in 3 weeks. And if not, then it's my own fault.
Yeah, I'll be down there next weekend. We'll talk strategy on painting this stuff
Mm-hmm.
because I gotta paint the same thing. I gotta paint up that stupid battle barge in ultramarine blue.
I mean, I was 100% waiting for you to come down here before I even started. Not like intentionally, but also like, because I knew you'd come down and give me the motivation, and then I'd be like ready to go.
I think I'm gonna go fur brown, and then I'm just gonna freaking work it up from there with ultramarine blue. And there's like a highlight of something that Army Painter has that looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I can see
I
it.
haven't put it down on model yet, but it looks like it'd be all right for it.
Nice. All right. Do green shoulder pads on the Autarch. Just doing some speed paints on the characters real quick to finish up the greens. Then we'll be moving on. Yeah, doesn't need much.
Frost finished pretty high up in the ITC this year.
I think he did pretty well. I want to say he was like 11th overall.
Yeah, he did well. I've never seen his name up there.
Yeah, Chris, Frosty Forge in the chat. Let me know where you finished in the ITC last year. Memory says 11. Definitely was higher than me. I wonder where I was. I am wondering if I was top 300.
You were up there. No, you
Was I really?
definitely would have finished more than 300. Because you scored 6 events, I think, didn't you?
I probably had 6 events.
You definitely finished top 100. Let me see. I can tell you what you finished.
I'm looking it up like right now.
Oh.
Where are my 40k hobby track info? How do I find it? And this is hard to find. I'm gonna blame Frontline's website.
Well, I'm in 13th right now for 2021 or 2022.
With what, one event?
Yeah.
Attaboy. Where is? How do I look at past events?
I got it. Let me see. You got to type in the date and everything on it.
Yeah, I'm struggling, so I'm gonna trust you to find out.
Here it is. I found it. That's team.
If I finished ahead of Blake in hobby track, I'm gonna cry, but I don't deserve that, so I know I didn't.
Why can't I find this? ITC.
I wish I'd looked that up, because then I would kind of like have a baseline. Because like I really wanted to do better this year in hobby track, but I don't know where I was last time, unfortunately.
You might have finished higher than me, honestly.
I don't believe it. I'm not believing that until you tell me. Like there's no way that my 6th event was like enough to bump my average score over your average score. Not a chance.
So here's ITC. Oh, it's weird. Okay. I don't know why it's not letting me see them anymore. I saw it the other day. So I looked it up. You can look up old ones.
I don't know. Oh, well, I'm just gonna content myself doing better. Frosty Forge got 11th by about 15 points. Unfortunately, Frosty Forge did not go to LVO. And I think that's what cost him. It's also how he lost Best Space Wolves. Not even the best Space Wolf painter, Frosty. Just disappointing. Go to LVO next time.
Who is the best Space Wolf painter?
I don't know the name, frankly.
That's interesting that you could be 11th and not the best Space Wolf.
Yeah, right? I mean, I guess there
It had
was
to be someone.
someone else really liked the Space Wolves.
The JT, maybe JT ran his dudes as Space Wolves at one point because he finished second.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because he has a good-looking Marine army, right?
Yeah, his army looks nice.
All right, that's green. That's good. What do I need to do? Put some green on these Rangers, and I'm gonna bust out the detail brush. Oh boy, we're getting there, people. We are really getting somewhere. I don't know about there, but we're getting somewhere.
This looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Can you see that?
The red
Probably can't see
on the
details,
legs.
huh?
I can see it on. It's probably gonna be hard on YouTube because I've shrunk your image down. Because the main focus is the hobby desk, but not bad. Just since I've got it blown up on my screen, I think it looks pretty good. Send me some pictures, and we could always post one on social media as well as if you've got anything that you want pictures on social media, because I'm going to be taking a lot when the day is over.
I'm kind of hot garbage at taking photos, though. Every time I take a picture, everyone's like, "Oh man!" Like,
And then you're like, "No, I promise it looks good."
they're like, "How'd you finish top 10 in paint at LVO? Like, did you like bribe the judges or something? Like, what's going on?" I don't know. I just can't take a photo.
We'll take some pictures of all your stuff when you come down here.
Yeah, my knights don't photo well at all. Like, I don't know what it is, but
I've seen them in person.
all
They
the
look beautiful,
contrast.
man. I'm surprised they don't photo well.
It's like because it's a lot of subtle contrast on yellow. So whenever you photo it, it's like washes all of it out. It just looks like a bright yellow, like one color basically for some reason.
That's what my nights are.
Yours look good. They're the ones that Jack used for in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and I think he used them again, didn't he? Did he use them twice?
No, I think he only used them the one time. That was after he took them to New Orleans. I finished the army because it wasn't quite painted at the time.
And you took them to Crucible.
Then I took him to Crucible, and I got third in hobby at a major, which was by far my best showing.
Yeah, that was one of our best scores for the team. I'm pretty sure.
Heck yeah.
It's like a top.
Steve uses a big brush and small details on my knights. Big brushes get things done fast, but airbrushes are magical, I gotta tell you. Never going back to not owning an airbrush. I cannot imagine trying to paint some of the armies they do now. Also really helped with the Eldar. Blake, do you have YouTube open?
No.
If you do, you can see me holding models. And I can show you what we got so far.
Let me see if I can't pull it up. I am gonna have to bounce here shortly, just because
That's no
I have
problem.
a baby that's crying.
Yeah, I can hear the background. You know what? The baby is more important to me, Blake. I won't be offended.
My wife's with him right now, but I figure she probably wants some assistance
Yep.
at some point.
See, that's a good father right there. Hold on. I'm going to show you some Eldar first. Did a lot of airbrushing on the tanks. Let me...
Whoa! I can see my face.
Hey, there you go. This is how the green on the tanks is coming along. I've already painted the windows, but I left them separate, so they're going to be put on when everything's done. Because I don't want the glass getting touched up. But I just need to do a little bit of airbrushing on the guns. Need to get them a little whiter, and then I need to paint the gemstones, and then the tanks are about done. But really happy with the color green that we got going on here. Bealtan green. Classic.
I got the ITC scores here.
Oh, yeah?
Let me get them up. I'm interested to see now. Oh, no, that's just a code of conduct for some reason.
What? Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, is Jack? They're playing the Cherokee Finals today?
They're playing the Cherokee Finals right now. Jack is on stream playing against Quentin.
Oh, is that round 1 today, this morning?
No, that was this is round 3. They're in the finals right now.
Oh, it's a... It's 3:30. I'm an idiot. Whoa.
It's 4:30 Eastern. It's in Eastern time. It's turned. It looks like it's Jack's turn too. I don't have the audio on at all. I just kind of have it like up on YouTube, so I have literally no idea who's winning.
Are either of them running a Storm Surge?
No, they are both heavy crisis suits. No broadsides.
I'm running a Storm Surge. If I run it, I have to. It's just a requirement.
It's a really nice big model, so I get that.
Borkin Storm Surge.
You can do 1 or 3.
They'd be like, here's a shot that's not missing, gonna melt whatever it hits, and it's a Storm Surge. They look cool.
They do look cool. I'm not mad about Storm Surges. Are you gonna do 1 or 3? You think?
I have 3. I bought 3, but I'll probably do 1 because I feel like you lose a lot of like 3 becomes a little memey and probably has some matchups that are a little bit harder to overcome.
I believe it. Yeah.
Whereas 1, you can really do some. You can keep it alive for 1 with the strats, and they're 2 up, 4 up though. Holy crap! Like who thought that was a great idea? That seems really strong.
It seems way too strong. I think Storm Surges are way too good.
340 points or whatever they are.
I'm with it. I think Storm Surges are too good.
Yeah, it's wild. Like their stats are crazy for the points. But I think you can do so much with 1 though, because you can keep them alive. You can give them the Borkin strat, basically just to melt face on whatever they hit. So I think it's pretty cool. I think they're neat, and I think there's a lot of room for converting them too, man. Because some of their guns look real dumb, like their hands and arms and all that. I think you can do some pretty cool, like interesting things.
Yeah, you could definitely convert a Storm Surge to look better. I love the Storm Surge model because it's so big and dumb, but 100%, if I was going competition, I would look at that as like a conversion magnet. Like that is the place to do it.
Or like have like a dude like out on the arm, like firing down a marker light or something. I think that'd be kind of sick too.
Get some have him riding on.
Yeah,
I could see that working. Yeah, that would look good.
Because you got the dudes that are like in the Storm Surge, like operating it, I guess, which I never knew. I thought they were just like robots. Like,
see, all the top players are like mad that they're not battle suits because they're like, why did you give us a big mech and then make it a vehicle, not a battle suit? And I'm like, ha. Not a battle suit, doesn't get battle suit rules.
Yeah, but man, I didn't even notice that there's like dudes like sitting in the front of it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're just like, it's like a command deck. Really prone to mortars, right? The thing needs the lid so bad. Imagine just like one Stormboy just like flies on top and is like, oh, there's a crew. Just kills them all.
He would just straight up murder them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they'd slap at him with their fish hands.
Wonder if you could do like some kind of like energy field over that.
You could. So how I would do that, as you say that, is I would take this transparent UV resin.
Yeah.
I'd blow up a balloon, the exact concavity of the
Storm Surge, yeah. And then like coat it.
And I'd blow up that. I'd coat this, make a really smooth wall of resin. I'd UV cure it right there on the balloon. Pop the balloon, pull that thing out, and then I'd use like kind of the resin to kind of shape it out. Like I put that on there, and then I'd pour resin beside it to kind of shape it out around, and then you could dye it whatever color you want. You could use like a transparent like blue or turquoise or purple, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, that would look really good, honestly.
I'd probably do purple, honestly, with my colors.
Purple would not look bad. What color scheme did you settle on? Oh, that was right. The orange, the orange, purple, blue, or orange, pink.
If I'm for my towel, I would do a green. I'm doing like watermelon green and pink, like dark green, vibrant pink, and then the like off color is like royal purple. It's like super purple.
Yeah, that'll be good looking. I think that'll shine.
I did a kill team back in like 2002 or 2012, like a decade ago at this point, and for a painting competition, I did that scheme then.
I'm really not happy that 2012 was a decade ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, I'm getting some books, so I think I gotta bounce here in a second. So.
All right, Blake, we appreciate you being on. Really, really do.
Hey, I appreciate everyone, and I will try to join you at some point this week too if you're still doing this.
All right, sounds good. I may have a whole different hobby project, but then we'll see what happens.
Hopefully it's our Adepticon.
We'll be soon. All right. Take care, Blake. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks for everyone who's hanging with me. I'm actually probably going to call it myself relatively soon. I'm feeling it. Feel the need to like stretch, take a break, take a walk, go play with the dog. And maybe then I'll do a little bit of airbrushing. So I think I'm going to call this it for the last paint stream of the Painting an Eldar challenge. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to put the finishing touches on tonight, and I'm going to put a lot of pictures on social media. So thank you to everyone who has hung out with me. Really appreciate it. But I think we're going to call it here. Stay tuned next week. We got a lot of games coming up with the Streamhouse RTT. So appreciate everyone who hung out with me. Catch me then. And we're going to call it. All right. Take care, everyone. I'm going to send you away the commercial for the war room. Bye for now.
There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.